Hello! Welcome to episode 5 of Arcadia. Okay, there we go. We are live. What, friends? You're doing coding lag. Why? Hopefully that's fine. I'll keep an eye on that one. Anyway, we are live and recording. Might have been just the start because sometimes it chugs a little bit. Anyway, it's episode 5 of Arcadia. We're still waiting on a couple of people, so this might be end up long wait. I will share with people what I have done. I fleshed out a little bit of Arcadia, so I don't think I've shown this on stream or on video yet. So, are you gonna load? Or does this sometimes not load things? That worked. There we go. So this is not what I wanted. I wanted this. I don't know why this is taking forever. Oh boy. I will reload then. Anyway, so I'll reload and show you guys what I did. I basically fleshed out the world a little bit. In order to fix some of the Quirin's backstory is a merchant, and so I had given them a world overview. I had given them a world overview in session 0, right? But I decided that it would be a good idea to finish fleshing out the world. I don't know why this is taking so long to refresh. Like, I know I'm streaming, but that shouldn't affect it. What's my down speed? Like, I don't mind my up speed, because my up speed's... What's going on? Maybe the server's just, like, a little bit slow today. Yeah, my up speed is affected because I'm streaming.
Yeah, so I read through, I skimmed through most of the stuff, Chang, the text you added for the regions. So this looks good. There's a lot of useful information there.
You picked a hometown yet?
Not yet. I have a story arc I'm trying to think about and trying to figure out what's better for that. But I don't. It's hard to say.
I have to rename that because I've changed the name.
Yeah, I don't. I'll probably ask Chang a little more information to figure that out. But yeah.
Okay. What's this? See, some stuff opens fine. So everyone's got enough sanity at the moment. We've still got our death saving throws document.
Oh yeah, Chang, on one part,
rep document.
the Free Superium, you misspelled a do first with Sue.
Oh, I've got to go in and fix. I haven't finished going over it. I will go in and fix it. But yeah, like when I was doing it in a OneNote document. So
yeah, I was imagining it.
I'm not illiterate.
Hardly home, neighborinos.
Hey, hating Bruce.
Let's see.
Message Balk. I don't know. He hasn't responded to that too.
Oh, Jew. Yeah, there we go. Safe. If I can get this to open, come on. There's the Pantheon. There's the Pantheon open quite easily. There's the Arcadia world map. I don't know why the regions map won't.
Hey, Bell.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not too bad. How are you?
Okay, looks like everyone's here. You here, Bruce?
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Okay, well, if that's the case, I believe last week we ended our first day in Vanglaw after traveling from Pestral. We split the party. I'm not sure how you got. I don't know if you guys have like a meetup point or anything like that. I'm not even sure if you guys know which inns other people are staying in. But there's that fun little fact. You escorted a pair of merchants. They said they were going to meet. They were going to stay at the Lowenbrow. However, they never turned up. And at the end of the session, we had Bubba laying with the innkeeper's daughter. Oh, sorry, baby laying with the innkeeper's daughter. So, it's the next morning.
Oh yeah.
You've woken up. What do you guys want to do? Come on, Regent.
And make sure to know that bitch that I slept with her daughter.
That bitch, Carol Baskin.
I'll copy that to
I'm just like, I had fun with your daughter last night.
my spies information.
In the very early hours of the morning, I want to go fill like a silver bowl with some water and go and sit. Just find a quiet place. I'm assuming this place, we're at the fancier place. I'm sure there's like a courtyard garden or something.
Yes, there is.
And as the sun rises, I just want to like sort of stare into my reflection in the water and sort of try to just absorb. Just think of my mentor, Vrim.
Okay.
Vrim, I could really use your guidance right now. And sort of just ponder and sort of just think on the past few days' events, what happened, and really could use his guidance right now.
Okay. Baby, upon telling her that, she responds with, "It's my daughter's life," but she has a not very happy look on her face.
I just grin and walk off.
Okay. So we've had Shoshana and Baby, Quirin, Cowboy, Shax.
I don't have anything special. I'm just gonna get up and, eat breakfast, I guess, whatever, and then go find people.
Okay.
I believe I'm with baby.
You are. Is there anything special you want to do in this morning particular before going out to meet anyone?
Like before meeting up with the rest of the party.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to look for them because you don't know where they're staying, but yes.
Yeah. No, just cringe and stay by the baby's side.
Okay. Shax?
It's just like, I'm assuming Shoshana is silently contemplating on her long-forgotten, long-dead master.
He's not long dead.
And Shag...
He lives longer than all of us.
Buried in the ground.
I'm outside in the garden.
Ugh. Okay, in that case, Shax is meditating in the room that we paid a lot of money for.
Okay.
So just sort of waiting until everyone else is up and about and getting ready to move on out.
Okay. Well, you all paid for breakfast, I believe, as well as dinner. So you'll say you've only paid for one night's dinner and a breakfast, so you all get that. After that, you have your breakfast, bacon and eggs, in various states of well done. I don't believe there are any other requests. There's also cereal on the menu. Otherwise, you can head out towards. You can head out looking for each other, I guess.
Well,
Sounds like a plan.
Baby told us he was going to go to the inn with the thing. So,
Okay.
Shax, perhaps we should go and Quarren stayed at the same one as we did, didn't you, Quarren?
Yeah, I say the medium one. The
So after breakfast, perhaps we should go and find Baby Lou and Kobo. I believe they were staying at the more cheaper place with the merchant.
I'm not too surprised. Maybe we've also dodged a bullet by losing them.
Shax, we need their aid.
Okay. Let's have that
I
open.
was just kidding anyway, Shoshana. You should lighten up. Let's go find them.
Okay. If you know where Baby's staying, it takes you a good 10, 15 minutes to find the inn. With a little bit of help, you find what is Baby Lou and Kobo doing at the moment? As the other three approach.
I'm probably cleaning cum out of baby's fur.
Okay.
I'm just cleaning him up. I mean.
Okay. Okay, so the three of you find Baby and Cowboy cleaning Baby up from what looks to be a rough and tumble night.
I see somebody had a good night by the look of you.
Baby, is this blood?
No.
Hi, guys.
And I go over to Kieran, and I'm just like, I took your lady, dude.
you can have her.
I know, so I said you could have her, but the mother was a bitch.
I see. Well, fair enough.
Okay, so now that you guys have met up, what do you guys want to do? And Baby, are you going to share the information that the merchants
yeah, the
did not?
merchants never showed up.
How curious. I
Also,
wonder if it has anything to do with the merchandise they were shipping in.
Did you ever look at it?
No, I regret not doing that now. Perhaps there's a trail we could pick up? It piques my interest. It's odd.
I don't know if it's related, but there's also quite a lot of child prostitution. You know, that's got me concerned.
Nothing surprises me in a city as large as this. If it is related, perhaps we could snuff out two birds with one stone.
I just worry what's to become of the children here. I don't know what to do.
Okay. Okay.
Something has to be done.
Okay.
By us or what? I mean, I think we're on a mission. Are we not?
I mean, you have a so at the moment you have two destinations. Neither of which, well, only one has a cost in time. So you know that Shax's master's staying in Leora, but visiting Partre doesn't have a time limit. Like, you could never go there and it wouldn't matter. Shax's master is in Leora, and we know he's having a good time, but apart from that, we know nothing.
Perhaps we could go and ask around some of the other merchants to see if there's work that could get us onto Leora, and while we're there, ask some more questions around Phil and Gustav.
I
You mean about the-
believe it was
Philip
Philip
and Gareth.
and Gareth.
Phil and Gareth. I was looking for my notes. I couldn't find it.
I could care less.
It is strange that they did not they told us they would see us, and they didn't. But I mean, something probably came up. I don't think anything's. I don't know. Like,
Do we have any leads to even follow with them? Or just their names?
Yes, good point.
You do know that they were meeting someone important in the city?
Maybe the barkeeper or the lady here knows them. They said they stay here a lot.
Why don't we find out? And I'll wave my hand over at the barkeep mistress.
Okay.
I just kind of hide my face.
She doesn't like me too much.
So she acknowledges you and she says, yes. And she's a bit distracted at the moment, but she says, how can I help you?
Good morning. Would you be the owner of this fine establishment?
And she nods.
Some friends of ours told us about this location and informed us it was a great place to stay when one was visiting Bangalore.
Okay.
Now, they didn't show up tonight. They were making a delivery, but wondering if you're familiar with them. Phil and Gareth.
Philip and Gareth, yes. You'd have a reservation here, but as you said, they did not show up. That is odd. They do appear here. They do appear and stay every month. I do know they work for some noble. And she looks around. She calls her daughter, and she talks to her quickly. They mentioned an Ivan. Not sure about the last name, but apparently he pays really well for whatever they're transporting. They're always tight-lipped about it, however.
Interesting. What was the name again?
Ivan. Ivan.
Shaq. The daughter. Oh, she.
Like
Thank you.
Aiden?
Thank you, madam. Now, I understand he's quite important, but you don't know anything else about him, like where they would usually meet him, where the merchants gather?
And then she checks it and she says, Unfortunately, the only Ivan I know is, well, the new head of the city. But I doubt it would be him. The guy's a prick. His name is Ivan Phoenix. But, as I said, I'm not sure about anything else. As to where they were meeting, it was always very tight-lipped. They did say that they were being paid well very often, but never any more than that.
Well,
Interesting.
if I know anything about fictional universes, there's never anyone that has the same first name, so it must be him. Let's go, investigate him.
We're gonna become the Scooby-Doo gang. Just like investigate all the mysteries.
Well, there was some information I was imparted on me last night. It seems to fit into this jigsaw somehow, and this new head of state just keeps popping up.
What? How does it pop up? What do you mean?
Well, it's just odd. A lot of the changes he's doing is more focused on the people, allegedly. It's unusual for these parts, as we know money is power in Roadmere. But it seems to be looking after the people, but there's odd expenditure that's not adding up. And it looks like perhaps there's like backhand deals and things like that going on that can't be traced.
What on earth are you saying, Quern?
What the hell?
What do you mean? Wait. What do you mean?
Oh,
Like you're
that's
speaking
my
the
avatar.
devil's tongue.
It's infernal.
I can't I have shit behind me, so I
Actually,
can't
I don't
have
speak
I
it
can't
now.
have a webcam. So
Uh,
I made myself an avatar.
What do you mean you don't speak it? You said it.
what?
Not necessarily infernal.
Oh, I can't forget. The stupid thing is stuck in. It's by default goes to Thieves' Cant. Here, there we go. I don't know why it does that. Like,
Are you Fred?
you think Colin would. Yeah. Yeah, apparently, Fred. Yep. Yeah, I can't see on my screen. My screen just shows up normal, regardless of what I put. But yeah,
I think because Thieves' Cant is your first language under languages.
probably I'll adjust it. Yeah, because that's a little annoying. I have to do that every single time I start, at least.
Anyway, so you guys have gotten a little bit more information. You have learnt that the current head of the city of Bangalore is Ivan Phoenix. Are you going to look for... What are you going to do now?
Well, what do you lot want to do? Shall we go and investigate further, or shall we just go find a ticket out of here?
That's what I want to know.
I definitely would like to have some sort of influence in this town.
You wish to become power brokers of some sort. We're pretty new to this place. I don't know how much power we're really gonna have to affect things.
Comes with
But
time.
if you want to start,
I think if anything, we're just gonna piss people off.
I'm okay with that too.
Any
You
luck,
want
it'll
to
be-
free their slaves, and he wants to go poking around in the head of the town's business.
discreetly.
I'm not afraid. Yes, well, we don't have to do it, obviously. Some discretion is definitely wise.
You also have the bandits as well that you could look into.
Yes, to some bloody bosses.
That was the potential link to the head of state, was the bandits.
Alright, so how do we explore this option? Should we split up and search and pass
Oh,
around,
yes,
or what?
yes.
I don't
Absolutely split up.
Chang. No, I don't think we should split up. Definitely go work together and find these bandits and do our thing. We've dealt with bandits before.
We
We
might be
can
able
only get
to.
stronger.
But Kobo, if we're in a smaller group, we could blend in better. Maybe splitting up is a good idea.
I don't trust your judgment. I trust you. I don't know about that idea. I'm not my favorite.
You did
It-
say to be discreet. If we're gonna be discreet, then we should have no problem splitting up.
We should be careful, though. We did run into those bandits, and they're apparently part of a more older structured group that's being resurrected, so to speak. Again, potential ties to this Ivan fellow. Now, if we've been seen coming in with Phil and Gareth, we could be next on their list. I just think that's something to be mindful of.
As long as I've got baby to protect me, I guess I'm okay with splitting up.
So Chang, with any context I have for merchants, would I have any leads as to like I guess I can go back to the tavern, the Voices Tavern, and or Voices Court and talk to the merchants there and see if they know anything, I guess, about Ivan, even, and see I guess, and figure out if anything happening in the structure of the city, politics wise, or economically.
Okay, economically. So you would go probably to the Commerce Guild. You know where it is. You'd be able to find it quite easily. Talking to discreetly to some people. You would definitely. So what you would find out is essentially the city is doing a lot better than it has previously. However, merchants are starting to avoid the city because of its high taxes on entry. You're not able to track much apart from that. They do say that Ivan is not often seen, and that the previous head actually went missing very soon after Ivan took control of the city.
That is suspicious. I guess I'll relay that information to the rest of the group.
Maybe it's something we don't want to get tangled up in then, Query. We don't want to disappear as well, do we?
I mean, it's
I'm sure
true.
we can take care of ourselves.
I mean, they could leave.
This whole city smells very suspicious in general. I don't know how much we can stop it. It's just a bunch of adventures, but perhaps maybe we keep our notes, keep our head up and just listen on what is going on, and take action later. Don't know if we have enough to go off of.
Maybe we should just continue on to Parche.
Sure, might as well. We have the mission to go to Parche. We have Leora. So Parche, we want to focus on Parche.
Yeah. Well, Leora's on the way. Shall we?
That's true.
You're right. I think we could be a little out of our depth on this one.
Excellent.
I was going to quickly turn the aircon on.
Very
I can
excellent.
get my book.
This means okay. This means there'll be consequences later on. Perfect. Okay, so if you're going to look around for work heading towards Parche, can I get an investigation check out of the party?
Probably. Quarren, you're probably our man for that.
Yeah. Well, he's a party, I think, right? Or is there
Everyone should do it. Everyone should.
Oh,
do it.
okay. Sorry.
Okay, notes. Avoided trouble in War.
Pete's AFK still.
It's okay. I'll roll for him then. Public investigation. Normal, please. Okay. Okay. It's passed, so.
Sorry, I just started getting really hot.
That's okay. So since you guys have decided to head on, looking around, you're not finding much work. But as it takes all day looking for this stuff. As you guys head back to, which inn are you guys heading back to, by the way? I've gone too far.
I'll let Baby decide.
I think it's best not go back to where we were.
Why don't you
Alright.
join us at the Voiceless Unicorn then?
Yes, our business with merchants anyways. We might hear something or find some people who have pertinent information.
The mother did say she didn't look satisfied, which I don't give a shit about. I was.
But she was whatever. Sure.
Baby's the typical man.
Yeah, I guess we're going back there to the Voiceless Unicorn then.
Okay. It will be. Let's see. Okay, so, you're all greeted by Melise, the dwarf. There's now 5 of you. She points to the signs. Single rooms are 5 silver. Double rooms are 10 silver or 1 gold. There's a quad room for 15 silver pieces, and dinner and breakfast is 5 silver pieces. So, how do you want to split the rooms?
I'm used to sharing with anywhere between 20 and 40 other of the clerics, so I don't mind sharing with however many.
And perhaps you'd like a change of pace in your own room, and the rest of us can get a discount.
I
Quad share rooms are cheapest, I think.
For is that what you said? I mean, I could sleep on the floor.
No, if you get your own room, Kobo, alone,
Will that be cheaper or?
it would be
Yeah.
for us, yes. You would be doing us a great favor.
I
Not all of us are quite as well off as you are, Kobo.
Take it out of the.
With the
Hey.
20s,
We
it'd
can
be
just
20
put
silver.
shacks in the hallway.
Take it out of the thing. So 15 for a quad and then a single. So that's 20. Okay.
Okay. And there's 5 of you, so another 25 silver for dinner and breakfast, I assume.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's done.
Okay, so you guys spend a lot of time walking about. You don't find much work. You guys head back to the inn. Apparently, Baby and Cowboy don't want to spend time at the cheap inn anymore, so you guys all head back to the Voiceless Unicorn. You are served dinner. It is orc steaks, which surprises some of you.
Orc, like orc meat?
Yes, as in orc meat.
Is that unusual?
You're not sure. You've never had it before, but you are unsure.
Baby Lou is not picky about his food.
Is it safe to eat other humanoids? What are our relations with orcs? Not good, right?
I mean, if you're a half orc, you have relations with orcs. Otherwise, not really. So I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to eat it if you don't want to.
Well,
Try
Rich
anything.
people sure are weird as I'm eating it.
One to look a gift orc in the mouth.
Okay. So that's 2 people eating. What about the other 3?
Yeah, I'll eat it.
3.
I mean, even worse probably.
I might seek a refund.
Okay. So Shax is not. What about Cowboy? You eating?
Check and see their manager.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. So 4 of you have one of the best steaks you've ever had in your life. Shax.
Oh god, this is a slippery slope.
Shax, you get a refund and you get some salad.
Yeah. Tomorrow it's half orc.
And then it's that bitch Carol Baskin.
You guys you guys are listening out since you learnt some stuff. So can I get a perception check from those people who are trying to listen out and listen in on some conversations?
I am trying for sure.
To try and put on a show again tonight as well.
Okay.
Oh, not again. I'm kidding.
Unfortunately, Shoshana, you don't hear much. Just some general news about bandits in the north, trouble brewing overseas, but this is all stuff you'd already heard. Gurren, you pick up a few pieces. Let's see.
Should I have rolled 2 as well?
Well,
Were you listening out?
were you trying to listen into conversations of the merchants?
Yeah.
Okay, then roll.
Oh.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
also
Don't really pick up much. Corinne, what you pick up is, you hear that, despite Lud Nelson, who you learn while listening to this, going missing. His gardener still lives at his house. Anything else? No, that's roughly it. You do hear also that a merchant goes to and from that house as well, buying some sort of leaves, but that's it.
That was the previous lord who went missing? The
Yes.
mayor of the city? Oh, fuck.
Well, I'll tell the team. So, I don't know. I had trouble finding information, but one of the merchants, Gareth, I believe, or Gareth or Philip, I can't remember. Whatever, either it doesn't matter. Yes, he.
I mean, you can ask about Gareth and Philip. This is a merchant's place. If you want to try, you can ask about them, but you haven't picked up any like specific information.
Yeah, they have a gardener that we may want to be able to talk to get more information.
We haven't found other work. Perhaps we could make a clandestine nighttime visit.
To the Yvonne's place, or do you mean
The old
what?
lord's house. Or
The
should we
old
go
lord.
there in the daytime and say hello?
I don't know. I mean, are we trying to? Is there anything specific we're looking for, or are we trying to just find any information possible?
To be honest, with all these coincidences, I'm sure we'll know it as soon as we find it.
All right. I mean, I don't think we want them to know we're poking around their business. So if we're going to do this, we probably should do it tonight to allay any suspicions.
Okay.
about us.
Before you go, Shoshana, you want to perform?
Yeah, I'll set up our alibi that I've been here performing all night and then with my adoring fans.
So first things first. As you're heading up on stage, a man pulls you over and whispers in your ear, "After the performance, come see me." As you're walking up, can I get a performance check from you? It's unusual for the voiceless unicorn to put on a show, but since you're staying here, they are quite willing to let you do it. And you put on a fantastic performance. Describe what you're playing. What type of song is it?
We're singing Sylvan again because it went down. It seemed to go down all right last time, so she's popped out another Sylvan song. This one's a bit more upbeat than the last one. It's a bit happier. It sings about. It's again another song about her homeland in the Feywild, and it brings joy and happiness. It brings up all those emotions as the beautiful sing-song sort of language of the Sylvan. Just puts everyone at ease and makes them have a good time.
It goes like this. Since Ben won't sing.
The merchants are quite impressed with what you put out, and you're rewarded. You have your case out the front, and they toss you some gold, silver, and copper. As I said, it's not often that they put on performance. Most merchants don't care for it, but tonight it appears they're very happy to see you.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, it's quite a healthy little pick-me-up. Quarren, I'll give that to the party kitty.
Sure.
Paid for the rooms for tonight. I will keep 1 gold for myself, though. Sorry, 2 gold. You can have the rest.
Really? Okay. So after the performances, you're getting down. Are you going to go talk to the person who talked to you?
Yeah, where they want to be. Are they just like in a shady corner of the tavern in like a booth seat or something?
Yes, they are.
Okay, yeah, I'll go sit down. I'll make eyes to Shax so that she knows I'm slipping off.
I have no idea what the eyes mean.
Okay, this is brilliant.
You start doing signals. You're like, what? What does this mean?
As
I
you slip
nod.
off, as you slip off, Shaq's looking at you like bewildered. You meet your contact, and the contact says, "We have some information from the other night. Good call on the investigation. We found out the bandits call themselves the Order of the Third Eye.
Oh, how original.
We also found out a lot of money is disappearing from the city. It appears this new lord is not as clean as he makes out to be."
I knew it.
And he produces some documents. These documents, looking at them, you're not sure where these documents came from, but the documents do show a flow of money going into the city treasury, but the city treasury decreasing at a substantial rate, and the money is unaccounted for.
Okay. There's some form of embezzlement or redirection going on here.
He also produces a second report, and that second report actually shows that everything is normal in the city, and that the cash flow is completely normal. So looks like someone's doctoring the books, as they might say.
Good work. Is there anything else I need to know?
He shakes his head for now and says, "Be careful of the Lord. We're unsure what and who is backing him." And then he nods and dips off into the shadow.
I will discreetly move across and greet some of the people who afterwards, again on my way back there, I stop to chat to people to build up my presence as being at the bar. So if we do slip off, just building up a bit of an alibi that people will remember me at the bar all night while they're getting drunk.
Okay.
Through my fans and the performance. And then I'll make my way back over to the party and just beckon them over to one of the more private corner of the room.
Can you give me a deception check for that? Okay. Not bad. Okay. So you stealthily slink back to the bar. It looks like you're there. And then you slink back to your party. Okay.
I've just been informed. Found this information. Looks like we were right about this Ivan fellow. I hand over the reports and the evidence and go over everything that the spy just went over with my contact just went over with me.
Wait, here's a spliced up block?
Corin, looking at this, you actually, as someone trained in the mercantile ways, you can tell that it is not a petty amount of money going in and out. Not only that, you see some irregularities in both the money going in and from across both reports. It's just as a quick glance, you'd have to spend time working out what it is, but you do notice like things about these reports that are strange compared to what normal merchants and normal cities would be reporting.
So yeah, you appear to be correct. There's clearly there's a clear case of corruption here, but I mean, corruption is common among many cities, among many institutions like this. This may be more than most, but don't know. Don't know how we plan to resolve it. It's not like we can go like. It's like we can go like defeat the merchant the merchant leader and just everything will be solved. Like,
Maybe instead of hurting him, we could just tell him that what he's doing is wrong.
yes, the
Great
gullible
villains. Great villains are often swayed by the emotions of random adventurers.
I still think it'd be worthwhile having a dig around the old mansion of the previous lord. Just to see if we can find any clues to solidify our case before we make any moves or get other people to make some moves on him.
Maybe it might be under watch or trapped. Maybe we should wear the bandit bandanas and
This is gonna end
He's
well.
right.
You're onto something there, Shax.
I have 8 of them, so
Oh, this is gonna end so poorly.
whatever it is, we can go do it. We can find information, but yeah, I don't know who's going to believe us, and what we can do to even if you manage to expose these crimes. It's not our problem, but you seem very intent on solving the world's problems. So for now, I will go along.
Okay. So it's about 9 p.m. now. Merchants are starting to head upstairs. By the way, nobody here looks like they'd take up any arm wrestling. They're all fat merchants. So
Yeah, I kind of figured.
there's no wrestling entertainment for tonight. If you want to head out, looking around now is probably the opportune time. You could probably sneak out the back quite easily.
Shall we?
Right.
Okay, so first of all, is everyone going?
yeah, let's stick as a group.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go. My character is he's still curious despite all the issues.
Okay, next. Do you know where this house is?
Oh,
The last house on the left.
We got to get that vital piece of information.
contact. He failed us.
Okay, let's see.
We break into every mansion in the city.
One, just go break it around.
I'm sure someone will know where.
Yes, let's break into the house of a rich person. They probably all know each other. They might know where he used to live.
It's probably true.
Shoshana, as you're reaching, as you're thinking about it, all of a sudden you notice that there is a note in your pocket.
Oh. Pull it out and have a read.
It contains the address of a mansion in the.
It contains a handy plot device. No, thank you. It's got an address for a mansion.
It's got the address for a house. You're unsure what is at the address, but it's an address.
This must have been amongst the notes I was given earlier. Surely it's worth checking out.
We know. Okay. So can I get a investigation check from the person who's leading? Guys
I'll do
aren't
it,
too familiar with this town, so
Oh god, that's your one.
Can someone help him to give him advantage?
can I get a D20 roll from you, Vaden?
Wait, are there any cliffs in town? Or
No,
we're
there are
gonna
no
find the first one.
there are no cliffs in town.
There's some cliff hanging out near me.
Okay. So you wander around. It's getting late, so the guards are patrolling. You're able to dodge out of their way for the most part. It takes you a good few hours. By the time you find the mansion, it's about midnight. It's quite cold now. And so you found the mansion. It has a pair of large steel locked gates. It is surrounded by a wall of cobblestone. It has vines growing up the wall, and a close look at the gate shows that it's not locked. From the distance, to the right side of this mansion, you see that there is a small house. The mansion is 2 stories high. It is quite large compared to even the houses around here. And there's a small house to the left, to the right of it. It's got a little bit of light flickering out one of the windows. It's a small wooden 1-story shack, probably you'd guess enough for one person to live there.
That's where his peasant lives.
I've heard of these. It might be actually be a granny flat.
Granny flat.
Maybe his
Granny.
grandmother lived there.
It could also just be a simple shed.
What madness? Must be Granny Flat.
Well, shall we go in for a closer look then?
All right.
So how are you getting in?
I guess okay. Guess we should go from the back, right? Try to go go along the
Well,
ivy. Ivy should make it.
I
Or
can
approach
throw
a little quieter.
Shoshana over the fence.
That'll help her. But,
I mean, I can actually jump
I think the
really
landing
high.
will be. The thing with the
Can somebody give me a nature check?
garb. I have +2 actually. It's not bad. I don't know about you guys.
Mine's only a plus 12, but I'm proficient, so I can...
Okay, you want to help me then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Damn, dude, my rules.
Tugging on the vines, it looks like they're probably strong enough that you'd be able to climb over them. As I said, it looks like the gate's unlocked if you want to just open the gate.
It's probably noisy as fuck, though.
Here, and I'll throw Shoshana up and over the gate.
Oh my
Oh, we
god.
got to get TPK by a fucking wall with vines on it.
Can I get a strength check?
Can we do it like on purpose? So like I'll do a run and then jump into his hand and he like
Okay, yeah.
springbots
Can I
me
get a
in the
strength
air?
check with advantage then? Okay. Is it over the wall or over the gate?
Just the lower.
The wall.
The wall.
Okay, so you run up and you jump into his hands, and he boosts you up, and you go flying quite far over the wall, in fact, and you land on the other side. You land in a shrub. It's not particularly pleasant in this shrub, but you're safely inside.
All right. Is it completely dark on the other side?
It is. Apart from the light flickering to the right of the mansion, there is no light anywhere else.
We don't have dark vision except for
Baby.
maybe yeah.
Send
I
in
mean,
someone else.
It is light enough that you can see by the moonlight. Right. So looking out, you can see the outline of shapes and stuff like that.
Okay.
But there's no strong light sources apart from the little shack. You can also tell that from the looks of it, nobody is patrolling either.
All right. So when I have a good look around and just take everything in before I move out of the shrub.
Okay. So looking at the mansion, all the windows are dark. You do not have night vision, so you can't make out much more than that. You do see that there is some quite tall trees, especially there's a few that are going to some windows. But apart from that, there doesn't look like to be any movement that you can see inside the mansion, and there is no movement coming from inside the mansion. And despite making a little bit of noise on landing, it doesn't appear anyone's come to check out where you have landed either.
How tall is the wall?
About 15 feet. The gate is about 20 feet, and it's spiked on top.
Let's climb.
It's a small jump for you to reach, Bubba.
Yeah,
I'll
like
probably be
you
quite
could,
high.
you could pull yourself up if you wanted to.
Strength ability check or Or is
No,
it?
I don't think Baby would need to even make anything because his arms are 15. His arms are that long, like 10 feet long. So he'd probably just be able to like jump and pull himself up.
His arms are 10 feet long. What the hell?
Yeah, he's
Bugbears.
a bugbear.
Yeah,
Like his hands
I'll
are literally
just
dragging
climb
on the
over.
ground.
Okay. I think it's like a gorilla or something. Like, there's this- all right.
I turn to Shax. Give me a boost.
I give him a shove with my foot. Oh god.
Kick him in
So you, as as Baby tries to climb over, like you kick him in the ass, he just falls back on the ground.
I'll climb.
Okay, you make it over quite easily. As I said, because there are vines there, it's quite easy to get over. It's like, quite frankly, like I'm surprised Baby failed that.
I help Baby Lou back up to his feet. And I say, I'll give you my hand instead of my foot this time.
I'll climb over again.
Okay.
And like hoist him up on my shoulders and try and push him up.
I'll do the change to that.
Yeah, that's with advantage if you're getting that help.
Um,
Wow,
the
natural
120,
1 and a natural 20.
the first.
Okay, so
20 actually.
yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
Good thing I got that fucking advantage.
you easily just like from where you are, you just easily just pull yourself up and over. Cowboy, Shax, what about you two?
Wish me luck.
Alright, I'll stand aside and wish you luck. Good luck, Obo.
Athletics?
No, strength.
Just straight up strength.
Strength ability check, yep. No, you easily make it. Like, it's not difficult. The vines are there. So you scramble up the wall, drop down on the other side. Shax, you're last.
Yeah. Well, seeing that everyone else has gone over, I just sort of like take a glance around to make sure no one else is here and then climb up myself.
Okay. No, you're able to make it. As I said, it's not hard. The vines are strong enough to support your weight, so you just clamber up them. You said you were making a glance around. As you get to the top, can you give me a perception check at disadvantage because you do not have dark vision.
I have a lantern if you want to use that.
That's a
but,
24.
Maybe not by being stealth.
Oh,
I know. So, okay.
A 4, you notice nobody. So as far as you can tell, there's nobody around. So you drop down on the other side. So you guys are now in relatively darkness. As I said, there's enough moonlight that you can make your way around. What do you guys want to do now that you've infiltrated this mansion?
I want to go to the shed and see if through the window.
Are you guys being stealthy?
Certainly
I
not.
am very much being stealthy.
Okay. Can I get some stealth rolls? Those who are approaching, give me some stealth
Fuck
rolls.
me.
Shax will stay back and watch this time, I think.
Okay.
Shana has become one with the night.
You should do, Gobo.
I have disadvantage, hey.
Yes, you do. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so Cowboy is, despite wearing metal armor and it usually creaks like everything, like tonight it's like he's like completely greased up, and just like he doesn't make a sound. Shoshana, like you guys watch as Shoshana literally disappears in front of your eyes, and Baby. Unfortunately, your hands dragging against the ground tend to make a little bit of noise. So, who's approaching the shack? I assume Baby and Shoshana?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys hear a crackling fire. Okay, so you guys hear a crackling fire, and on the inside there is a elderly gentleman, He is wearing a straw hat. He's got a green t-shirt on, and he has a pair of long white cargo pants. And he's currently like nodding off. As he hears babies like the sound of rustling, he looks up and goes, that nods off again. As he it is quite late. He's sitting in front of his fire. There's a glass next to him. Looks like you're unsure, but there's some deep as a deep colored liquid in it.
Do I see anything else in there?
Give me a perception check. There's a few like gardener's tools in there, but that's all you see.
Do we want to go in, baby?
We should. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stealthily open the door.
Okay. Can I get a sleight of hand roll for that one?
Oh, nice.
As the door opens with a loud squeal, and the elderly gentleman jumps up and looks behind you. Looks behind him and says, and looks, "Oi, Horny, what are you doing?"
Remain silent and still.
Okay. And he gets up and pokes his head out the door. What, is there a bugbear on me frickin' chair at the head of me house?
It's cold out.
Right. So you're telling me it's cold, and so you're at the front of me mansion.
It looks warm in there, and I get like sad eyes.
He invites you in, says, "Come on in."
I go in.
Probably not eyes on his work.
I'll try and link in to a shadowy space after them.
Okay. You're able to do that. Is anyone else going in? Is anyone else following them?
I'll follow stealthily, I guess.
Okay. As you approach the door, the old guy turns and looks at you and says, "You too." He points to a chair. So, Quirin, he sees you. Cowboy, he doesn't. Shax, you're still at the wall, so he doesn't see you. So, Quirin, are you going to go sit down on the chair that he's pointing to?
Yeah, sure. You know what? Why not?
Okay. He said, "Right." He pulls out a pair of pulls out a pair of glasses for you. Pours it in. Master might not like it, but here, some fine whiskey. He pours you guys some. And he takes a sip out of here. Right then, name's Jim, gardener of this here mansion. Now, what are you folk doing here at this? He looks up at the moon. Ungodly hour.
I was just cold.
Yep,
I had nowhere to go.
That's what they all say. What about you?
Too warm.
I mean, Shax, you're still outside. You're So, Kieran, what about he looks at you and like asks you like pointedly.
Jim, we'll come clean. We're looking for information on the master here. They used to live here.
Fair enough. Old lad, huh?
There's been a bunch of suspicious activity about his disappearance, and we were concerned citizens.
Concerned citizens, huh? It's been 3 months. I doubt that.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
He's like, he shakes
Certain
his head.
traveler, per se.
Concerned travelers.
Actually,
Even less likely, but I'll let it go. If you're going to investigate old Lud's disappearance, fair be it. Here's what I know. Lud disappeared about 3 months ago, just after that ass Ivan Phoenix took over. And then he's like, just after that, all the staff decided to up and leave. And he says, house hasn't been entered in 3 months now. Actually, less than that. About 2.5 months ago, a group of suspicious folk, he looks at both of you, kind of like you folk, went through and ransacked the place as far as I'm aware. They put everything back, but I don't know if they found anything.
Were they wearing masks?
They were wearing suspicious red bandanas, that's all I can tell you.
the bandanas happen to have a skull with a third eye.
I couldn't tell you, it was dark out. But I could see the red bandanas in the distance. Didn't want to get involved.
Sorry, which mansion we're at?
You're at Lud's mansion. This is the
Lud.
Lud
Yeah,
Nelson.
that's
He was
right.
the previous heads who disappeared.
I finished my whiskey and I put my glass. Reach out for more,
He just hands you the bottle.
and I just started drinking out of the bottle.
Okay, what else? He says, if you're looking in on the disappearance, head to the 2nd floor. There's a study up there. You might find what you need up there. Not sure. Apart from that, the night of disappearance, all the guards suddenly fell asleep, or at least that was their excuse. Investigation went on for a month before it was abandoned. Turns out that an order from the new head made it stop. That's all I know.
Do you think the guards were paid?
If they weren't, I'll eat my straw hat.
It does look tasty. Can I have a bite?
He pulls out a piece of straw and he says, "From the garden."
I'll start chewing it. Like a farmer.
Anything else you two want to ask?
I'm warm now. Thank you.
Shoshana walks out of the shadows. There's one thing you haven't mentioned, though, Jim. What's your involvement in all of this?
The moment you do that, he jumps up and it's like, involvement. I've worked for Old Lud for 35 years. My father before him worked for his family. That's my only involvement in this.
Why are you still on if all the other staff have left?
It's simple. My father and I
'Cause he's
owe a
truly loyal.
great debt to the family. Unfortunately, I'm infertile, so there'll be no more of my family. But I figured I'd repay it. The debt.
You could adopt.
He shakes his head.
Yes, I hear the one of the barmaids might be expecting soon.
I look at him.
Soon.
No, that's not possible. I take after Jim here.
Look at that's not possible. I've destroyed her ovaries.
Oh my god. Anyway, he shakes his head
I
and
tell him about the sex slaves.
says,
I tell him that there's people that need help. You could adopt a couple kids.
Could turn this old mansion into an orphanage.
I wouldn't go that far.
I worry what the rich would do with disadvantaged children.
He's not rich.
Fuck, man. I'm all tired.
yeah, no, he's a simple farmer, a commoner.
This is the housekeeper, no?
Yeah, well, no, it's the gardener.
Gardener, yeah.
Yeah, the one who's
Groundskeeper
looking
Jim.
after it.
Yep, grounds.
Jim from Jim's Mowing.
I was going to say that before, but I thought, no, it's good.
So yeah.
He is
Right, now he's a
character.
villain. Now I hate him.
So anything else you want to ask him?
Well,
Do we need keys to get around the mansion if we want to go have a look-see?
He laughs and says, I'm pretty sure the last set of bandits were on the front door locks if you want to go in. And then he says, don't expect there to be any light. But feel free, just try not to take everything.
we're not interested in the possessions. We are actually here on a information.
And then,
Or-
and as you say that, he looks at the bugbear and looks at Shoshana, and then he raises his eyebrow at Shoshana and says, "Uh-huh."
She may be shady, but I'm trustworthy. But I lied to you.
He says, you might not, but I've seen her type before. I visited the mansion very many times.
My type. My dear, whatever could you mean?
The
Famous barges wandering here all the time, do they?
the shady type, my dear.
I ain't shady. That's my father.
And then he walks over to a cabinet and says, this one, and pulls off a key and says, you might need this, and he hands you over a key.
I look to see if he has any more alcohol in his cupboard.
You don't see any alcohol, although he could be getting it from inside the mansion for all you know.
Ooh.
Oh, go to the mansion, you get it. All right. So yeah, thank you. Let us be on our way. Yeah, thanks for all the information. Let's go explore and find everything we can. Since he trusts this guy, basically, I mean, I'll fill him in on some of the information,
Okay.
like about what we found in general about the the corruption. I've even
He laughs and says, it doesn't surprise me. The city's been
Yeah.
going downhill since this guy took over, and his business was shady to begin with.
One last thing, Jim.
Hmm.
I'm aware that there's been a merchant seen to be coming and going from these premises recently. Do you know anything about that?
Yes. The only other merchant allowed on the estate, that would be the last person I am dealing with. And he brings you guys, he takes you guys outside and round the back, and he says, over there, tea. We grow it for the capital, the head of state. Lilele Pache enjoys it. We're the only ones, well, at the moment, we're the only ones with a license to grow it. Although, given the fact that old lad has been absent for so long, I suspect that very soon they'll be announcing a new supplier.
Why wouldn't you keep taking it over?
I'm not a merchant. I'm just a simple gardener. And, unfortunately, as I said, my family doesn't have that kind of influence, especially since I'm the last one and have no hope of having an heir.
Surely it's you who's been growing these crops, though, not the Lord himself.
He smiles and says, yes, but, as I said.
I'm gonna bring you 2 kids to help you. You're gonna. That's what you need.
farm hands. There you go. The kids are 4.
We'll remember
You
your...
need some help.
Jim, I think we're gonna... If all this goes down the way I think it will,
It's gonna go
your help will not be forgotten in these dire times.
It's gonna go
See what we can do to arrange a meeting with the right people to get you set up as chief grower of Lili's tea.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'll tell them. I say, yeah. I have some contacts with the merchants, and I have some knowledge as well as a merchant myself, just a aspiring one. So I'm able to teach you some things as well. I'll teach you. I'll become this guy's Baby Lou trainer Baby Lou trains kids on how to swing a sword. I'll train this guy how to swing a purse.
Jim's your cloud.
Okay.
Exactly.
He says, very well, we can deal with that later. I believe you are heading into the mansion if you are not. If I'm not wrong.
Potentially, so 2 birds with 1 stone. All those children sex slaves could become here to grow tea, and it could be
There
a
you go.
tea farm and orphanage.
There you go.
Does that
They'll
mean
give
that
him-
it's time to, kill off the the brothel?
What's that noise?
Huh?
Hmm?
What?
Which noise?
He's not here. He's.
No, he came.
Oh, did he?
Just Jackson.
Shaq's
yeah.
the one who's out doing
Oh.
everything.
I mean,
All right.
yeah, like Shax is the only one who stayed behind.
We're also out in the backyard now, not his shack anymore.
Oh.
We followed us out to show us the tea plantation.
All right. So okay, yeah. So we can go inside. I have a lantern. I have a hooded lantern, so I guess I can use that to
Yep. Okay.
see or to
Yep.
peer around.
So
Do I have to light or something? How does it work?
I'll cast light on my horns.
Okay, well then there
Oh,
you
you
go.
can do
Then
that.
we'll
I asked Jim how many kids he needs.
he looks around and says, "Well, when we were growing full time, we had he counts and says 12 full-time farmers, another 2 gardeners, there were 10 maids, 4 butlers, 3 cooks, and he lists off like about 30 positions."
there you go. Get child labor. Let's go.
Okay. We'll see what we can do.
I mean, I'm sure they would appreciate living here over.
The one that
Over,
wanted to be the baker can learn to cook for them all.
I mean,
That's right.
Okay, so
Oh, perfect.
Shoshana, she casts light on hands. All of a sudden, a 40-foot glow appears around her. Shax, you all of a sudden see Shoshana light up like a Christmas tree. What are you gonna do?
Dark.
stab it with fire.
I mean, she's probably about 60 to 100 feet away. So
Isn't light 30-30?
I think it's 20-40. I think it's the same as a torch.
Yeah, it's 20 bright and 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
20-30,
40
yeah.
feet. 40 feet of light. 40 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I'm not over there because clearly they're going to die. There's no one for me to alert, so I just watch as Shoshana is engulfed in light. And
Okay.
unfortunately, this
After we get away from Jim, I do kind of start to panic that what's her face might be knocked up.
Let's roll it. Roll D20. Odds she's knocked up. Very well. Okay. Interesting.
It's potentially a baby Lou on the way.
Okay.
9 months later, you find out the answer.
Okay. So yeah. So I'll have to note that down. Okay. So what do you guys? You guys are heading to the mansion, I believe now. There's
Go inside.
literally nobody here. As Jim said, he's the only one on the premises. Are you guys going to go swing by and pick up Shax before you go, or are you just going to leave him out there?
Yeah, sure.
Talk to Shax, yeah. Shax is safe. Come in. There's a friendly guard there. You're not leaving, just leave it out.
I'm going in the mansion because now I'm panicking, and I want to try and find more alcohol.
What to give to her, or
For himself, what do you mean? You and the Shax battle for alcohol. Just to get some of that alcohol.
Can you give me investigation check? Oh yeah, you look around, you find the kitchen, and immediately straight into like the alcohol cabinet. There's like whiskeys, beers, wines, like huge selection.
I go for another handful of each of the whiskey,
Okay,
and
Uh,
I'm just like drinking. I'm fucking scared now.
give me a Constitution check for me. We'll say DC 12. Okay. You're drinking and you're downing it like a fish, and you're still up at the moment. You're still upright and fine at the moment. Shax, the other four come over to you. As I said, Shoshana's bright as a Christmas tree. Looks like they found some information and are heading inside. Are you going to join them on the inside, or are you going to still stay outside?
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Okay. So you guys, what are you guys going to do now that you've head inside? Baby's headed straight to the kitchen and for the drinks. What about the other four of you?
Should we check out the study he mentioned?
I'm out of this investigation.
Yep. Okay. So looking around, Baby went through in a rush, and you see his footprints in the on the floor. There's like a thin caking of dust everywhere. And you can tell that nobody has set foot in this mansion apart from Baby for at least about 3 months. So you guys know that the study is on the second floor. So can you guys give me an investigation check to see if you can find it?
Everyone who's looking for it.
Cowboy, you open and find a bedroom.
Wow, a bed.
The bed is half. The bed looks like it's been half remade, but has been left midway. The rest of you go through the doors, and you're able to find eventually the study. It's quite bright in here because Shoshana's shining a light. It's about 25 by 25 feet. There are several.
Did you cast light?
Yes.
There are several bookcases. There are many books lining the bookcases. There is a portrait of a man. He looks like he's in his 20s. He has blonde hair. He's holding a sword facing down. It is engraved with an unknown coat of arms. And then...
Is it my father?
You don't know. The desk has some notes on it. They've been shuffled about. Looks like they've been looked through. The chair is moved slightly to the side. And one of the drawers is partially open.
Can I go over and look through the notes and the rummage through the drawers and all of that, or help Quarren to do that?
I'm investigating them.
Okay.
I'm helping you. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you and me can do it together.
Looking through the notes, many of them are related to the expenditure and income of the city. There are a few things you notice specifically in comparison to the ones that you got from your contact, in that up until 3 months ago, there wasn't a tax to enter the city. There was a tax on goods, but it was based on the goods that were brought in. You also notice things like the beginnings of our register of residence and all the things that were going on to improve the city. You notice that are missing from the report that you got. Including stuff like funding from orphanages going down.
It's all related.
What?
So hang on, these are saying all of that. These are backing up the notes, the information I got saying that the city's being embezzled, sort of.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
This
Let's
is serious.
we should gather all these up and keep this together.
With such a good roll, Curran, you notice that the frame is hanging oddly.
Okay, I'll investigate. I'll look at that.
Okay. Pulling on the frame, it swings out, and behind it there is a safe.
Ah, interesting. I will. Oh, well, I said I wasn't gonna steal too much of the positions, but I'll look into this. What is? How can I? So I see the opening for the safe. Like, is it? It's closed, I assume, right?
The safe
So,
the safe is closed. It has a lock, and it also has a number dial.
Okay. We haven't found any information about the safe so far, so I don't think we would have the number for it. I don't know. Do you guys want to? Should I try? Do you guys want to try to open this, or should we talk to the gym? He said he doesn't care about whether or not.
I'm quite happy to
Anything.
leave. Yes, I think we should leave the valuables here. We're only after the information to solidify our case.
Open
The only problem is we
I
don't know
believe
if
that.
what's in this thing. It could be there could be valuable information here as well. We don't know if it's just
I
You know.
definitely think that's what is in there, to be honest with you, Quarren. That's the kind of place I'd keep my most secret information.
yes. Okay, I'll try to open it with these tools.
Okay, go ahead.
Why don't we ask? Why don't we ask Jim?
I mean, he did give you a key that you haven't used yet.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Fuck. I'll use. I'll try. I'll try to take the key out and just like try to use it. I guess. See what
Okay.
happens.
You pop the key in, turn it, safe unlocks, and you hear a click.
Okay. I thought I didn't expect that to work on that. All right. I'll open it.
Okay, inside you see a bundle of documents, and you see a small pouch of coins.
I'll take both temporarily, and
Okay, the small
look
bundle
at the
of
document.
the small bundle of coins adds up to 100 gold pieces. And the documents, looking through them, you notice that these are slave sale contracts. Being a merchant, looking at these, you can tell that these are sales to and from Sandora from Vanglaw. Knowing the rules here, it is illegal to sell slaves from Roadmere to Sandor and Sandora. These implicate the current head of the city, Ivan Phoenix, in the sale of slaves to Sandor and Sandora.
Okay. Well, here's your suspicions were correct. Shoshana, this is far bigger than I ever expected. This is not just a simple case of corruption and embezzlement. This Ivan fellow it's a very shady business. One I'm unfortunately well known in or versed in.
Can I get
I
a
suppose we-
intelligence check from you, Vaden, too, as you're reading through this? Unfortunately, you don't notice anything else.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll take the documents. I tell the people. Yeah, I think this is everything we're gonna need. Probably. I don't think they'll find anything more shocking and more revealing than this. Perhaps we
What
should
should we
leave.
do with the information?
It's hard to say. I don't know who we can trust. Like, if the city is under this man's rule, we can't just go to the guard and say, "Hey, your leader is corrupt. Here's some proof."
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, they might be in on it as well. We meet someone who was who can challenge the even and politically speaking, and be able to get away with arresting him, like doing. So we might need to find some of his enemies in the city, and
My contacts may be able to help with all that. It's kind of their specialty.
I stumble in the room and I'm like, Shax! Shax!
At this point, you've probably drunk several bottles of whiskey, and several other things as well. You're quite drunk.
Master. Oh wait, no.
It was
Shax,
baby all along.
how fast till you know you're pregnant?
I wouldn't know, baby Lou, but I don't think you need to worry about that.
I'm worried. And I
You
just
find
drink
flight
some
of
more.
stairs and invite her over.
Wait, you're worried that you're pregnant or that I'm pregnant?
No, how would you? I don't know who you sleep with. Talking about the tavern lady's daughter. I don't even know her name.
okay, I think I
Can
know.
she even give birth to a bugbear?
I don't know. I mean, in the I don't know, the world of fantasy games is like, I mean, it's weird because like there are a lot of half races, right? But like, I mean, realistically, that wouldn't work realistically. I mean, unless you're like super close, biologically, you're not gonna be able to do that. But in D&D, it's like all sorts of things work that don't seem to work, that don't really work. So who knows? They don't know.
Well, I mean, there's half work, so
Yeah, but to be fair, I guess orcs are pretty not that far from humans, but yeah, I would say bugbears are pretty far off comparison. But
Anyway, okay. Okay. So, you guys are standing around discussing pregnancy and,
important things. Okay.
Maybe that's an alchemical solution. Just give her a drink or something. Jesus, surely Kobo knows something.
Kobo would actually know a, solution, as an alchemist and as a priest of Sunni, that would prevent pregnancy.
Specifically as a priest of Sunni?
Specifically as a priest of Sunni, yes.
Surely that would make sense with your whole backstory of looking after prosties.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, all right.
Well,
So
is baby gonna come talk to me about it?
no.
Too shy. Too shy.
So we should go talk to Jim and let him know.
But I wasn't being quiet about it when I was asking checks, though. But I wasn't asking about, like, abortions or shit. I was just asking about how quickly,
And I don't think I would suggest that to you like that. Don't worry.
Okay. So you guys gonna head back down to Jim?
Shall we give him on the way down to the house? Should we give him the gold pouch?
Well,
I think
ouch.
so.
I would say normally I would say just keep it for ourselves, but we did tell him that we were not here for the possession, so I'll honor that.
Oh, very good.
So
Seems like an
very,
honest man.
very good.
So you can use it to get this place up and running.
Where's
Especially if we're asking him to keep a low of children
Rap?
first
Very good.
to help him. They'll need
So-
food.
Plus
So I talked to Jim.
prep.
So Jim, that key you gave us came in very handy. I don't know how you knew that we would find the safe hidden in the mansion, but it was undisturbed. So I was able to open the safe with your key.
He smiles and says, I figured people of your, and he looks at you guys, distinction would come across it eventually. Easy, better make it easy than getting you guys to come back down here to get the key.
All right. Well, unfortunately, there was, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, there was some information in there about the Avon, and is looking much worse than even we originally thought. It appears he is in the business of slave trade with Sandora.
His eyes narrow.
I show him documents.
He takes a quick look at it, but you can tell he's not particularly happy with it. But then he also goes on to say, "Not a lot you can do here, unfortunately. Guards are bought and paid for by the Lord."
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Do you? I know Ivan is taken over, but are there any rivals of his, any enemies he hasn't made that may have the power or ability to, take him down? This is probably beyond us, beyond our capabilities.
He looks at me and says, "There's a couple of ways. You could head up to Leora. Leora is the capital of the region after all, and hand it over to the Lord there. Or
Yeah.
you could head over to Pache, and hand it over to the authorities there. They do not look very fondly upon people trading citizens to Sandor and Sandora. Otherwise, the previous lord is still missing. If he could find blood, he could definitely stand up against him. Many of the guard are still loyal to him, despite being paid for by the current lord."
Sure. So yeah, that's a great idea though. It may be hard for us to find the proper lower guards without arousing suspicion, but if we show our proof to the higher lords from the other cities, the capital and all that, Lili, and all that, they may be willing to actually take action upon this.
And he nods and says,
All right. So then I also show him the money. I say, this was also in there.
and he smiles and says, "Honest one, aren't you? I would have expected you to take it for yourself."
Well,
we
I
were
say
hoping that you would come to an agreement about an arrangement with some of the children we were hoping to liberate. If you could look after them in this mansion, and perhaps they could help you. We discussed that already, didn't we?
Yeah. And he says, "If the city starts to clean up, I don't see why I couldn't."
Hopefully the gold will help towards that.
so. We'll give him the money.
Okay.
If his
Let's
lord
say-
is
so
still
hold on.
alive, it's
Oh, yeah,
not
there-
his gold.
It's true. It's true.
And I put
But
my
yeah,
arm
so-
around Jim. You're a lucky man, and I give him some of my whiskey that I still have left in the bottle.
Sharing whiskey, man. What a
he
true
was-
friend.
He was already tipsy, but he drinks it and says, "All right, oh, that might have been too much. It's time for me bedtime. It's late now. You guys go do what you need to, and I'll keep looking after the mansion."
I think
So
we're done here.
What are you guys going to do now? It is
Go to
quite
bed?
late. It is quite
I think
late.
we should
I think we've
Get comfortable at the foot of his bed.
go back to the inn where we've paid for comfortable room.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's right, I
Um,
forgot.
So I won't. So I guess when we get back to our place and some work, or I guess before we go there, I'll just explain that. So like I said, there's many possible routes to take this Avon down if we want to, but my vote is for talking to people outside the city. We don't know who is. It'd be hard to find out who is. Basically, we got lucky with Jim being so forthright and on our side, but I don't trust the guards, and I don't know who would be willing to take the Lord down. So I think we're better off especially since we already are planning to go to Parche and Leora to find the authorities there and inform them.
Okay, well, you make it back to the inn. It's about 11:30. It's about 1:30 in the morning. It's a late night. If you guys are going to go to bed, you guys can have your long rest, obviously. You'll be waking up in a good 8 hours, so about 9:30, 10 o'clock when you guys wake up. Guys are still... baby, can I get a constitution check, please?
Yeah.
It's a DC 10. See if he's hungover.
Uh-oh.
You are hungover. So you will have a disadvantage on skill checks for today.
Oh
Want me
no.
to take a level of exhaustion?
No, you don't need to take a level of exhaustion. You just have disadvantage on skill checks. The rest of you get up. You're still a little bit tired. It was a long day yesterday. What are you guys gonna do?
I'd like to try and reach out to my contacts again.
Hair the dog.
Okay. Okay, so you're reaching out to your contacts. What do you want to say?
I want to let them know I've found more information that sort of backs up what's going on here. Do they have any suggestions on the best way to solve the problem?
Okay. You can expect an answer from what you know, probably about by late noon. Probably by late noon. At this point, you've already initiated investigation, so it depends. Do you want to go? So I assume you're going to wait around for that. Doesn't have to be in the tavern. They will be able to get in contact with you. Is there anything you want to do in the meantime?
Breakfast and breakfast cocktails.
Okay.
What's this?
You did pay for breakfast, so you can definitely get breakfast.
Is it too early for a coffee break?
No, we can have it now. So yeah, that's fine. As you guys settle down for breakfast, we're going to break for a coffee break.
Coffee's gross.
That's right.
So we'll break for about 5 minutes. Guys, go in bathroom, coffee if you want it, tea if you want it, whatever.
Right, dick if you want it.
I mean, if you can get off in 5 minutes.
I can get off in 2.
Very efficient.
Good to know. Okay, so while we're on break, I will roll for Shoshana's contact. We'll go investigation, perception. So D20 plus 4, and then plus D20 plus 4, and then we'll have a D20 plus 5. And then we'll do a stealth roll, D20 plus 3. Let's have a look. What do we get? So, they're not very stealthy about finding the information, but they do find out some information that we will share with them. And we'll have some information that they can do. Okay, that's fine. So let's see. Okay. Say what? Whoopsie. Okay, let's write it over here. Of course I spelled it correctly over here. Activity found in slums district red banners seen coming and going from old church. Located dot. So we've got the location. Investigation. Left to you. Reply with a note and other operatives will be sent. Okay, there we go. That will be our note. So okay, perfect. Talked to Jim. What info about event corruption and slaving TIVITI activities. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I'm going to turn on my air conditioner. Unfortunately, that's going to give us some background noise. Okay, let's unpause. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm back.
I'm here.
Okay. Sounds like Joey's back.
Ah, so much dick. Yum. Couldn't get enough. There's so many.
Back. What?
That means we're waiting for Vaden and Bruce, I guess. So us, the four of you, or the three of you who are here, is there anything you want to do while waiting?
I mean, potentially try and find another gig.
So there are a couple of things. Remember, you got informed about the magic shop, the Gregarious Ruin, on your first day here from your contact. Otherwise, yep, you could go search for another gig.
So I don't think we really have the money to be buying much at the moment.
Other than that, you know of the armorer and the the weaponsmith. It was. I'm just asking while we were waiting for people to come back if there was anything specific the three who were here wanted to do. What about you, Shax?
Hmm.
I mean, Shoshana suggested just looking for another gig.
So is it the morning now, or is it still up?
No, it's the morning now. It's about 10 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Looking back. Just asking what the rest wanted to do. So if there's anything specific you want to do, otherwise, Shoshana might want to look for another job for you guys.
Sure. Outside that, I'll just try to find like go back to the shop. What is it? What was the we didn't have a general store we found, right? Like I see the house and cars and merchant building. This is a
What
gregarious
about the
magic shop.
Gregarious Ruins, the magic shop?
Yeah, I'm trying to find trying to find more thieves tools because I have one set of thieves tools, but I should get another one in case it breaks. So
no, you didn't look for one. You could probably find one if you asked around. Wouldn't be too hard. There'd be numerous ones in a city of this size.
sure. Yeah, I'll look for that because yeah. Should find that. I should figure out what the. Or basically, I should make sure I get another one. So I just need to find basically whatever the closest general store or general store that sells thieves tools would be.
Okay. Looking around, asking about, you find a small shop on the corner about 3 minutes walk away. It's a little bit run down. Inside there's a kobold. He excitedly greets you as you walk in. Yes, customer. Hello. What can I do for you?
Yes. Can I get? Do you have any thieves tools?
Yes. And he comes out and pulls some and says, right here. How many do you want? 25 gold each.
25 gold, damn. 25 gold. That seems very high. Last place I bought them, they were much cheaper. They're really cheap. Was selling it, I think, last time.
It was Muddy's Muddy Emporium, but I think they were heavily used.
Yes. Well, no. Actually, what I bought was the healing kits. That's what it was. Actually, I think I think it came with these tools. Actually, so I didn't buy it. So never mind. Whatever. 25 gold. So, I guess I ask him. Do you perhaps have any thieves, any tools that are partially used? I just need a backup. I don't need an actual full set of keys.
1 second. And he runs off behind the counter and says, here you go.
Refurbished.
Well used. 10 gold.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. So I guess I expect them to see like how used they are. Like,
Give me a perception check. Few rust and bolts. One of the tools is actually bent out of shape, but you think you could probably get it back into shape. It's not so bad that you couldn't use it. As a backup set, probably work fine.
okay. Yes, that will do. Thank you. Yes. So here, I give him 10 gold.
Thank you for the business. And he pulls the brand new thieves tools and puts them underneath. Takes your 10 gold and counts it out and slowly puts it into his purse.
Nice doing business to you.
Yes.
Nice doing business to you.
With you. Accent, clearly. That's all. That's all.
It's alright.
All right.
Anything
I'll
else?
go back to this.
Okay. Yep. What
Nah.
about the other? What about the rest of you? If you're looking for work, then can I get an investigation roll from the people who are going to look for work?
I'll look for some work, sure.
Yeah, not
Are
finding
we
much.
looking for work in town or to go to the next town?
Well, that's up to you.
Goal was to go to.
I think
next town.
Shoshana wants to head up to the next town. Not sure about Kobo. Man,
Oh no! Do you want me to make a d20? Or?
no. Shax, you find nothing. Like you're looking around and like you're asking like old grandmothers. One of them says that you can scratch her back, which you quite happily do, but you don't find any work at all.
Is doing good deeds.
I just find like an old woman who's like chair bound and ask her if she needs an escort up to another village. She's like, I can't fucking walk, bitch.
Okay. Again, doesn't look like there's much work entering and leaving the city. At this point, from the information you've gathered, especially Quirin, you theorize that people don't leave, like merchants don't leave this city unless they have a damn good reason to.
Yeah, for those taxes. Of course not.
Down with the patriarchy, and then we can get a job moved to the next city.
Well, there's send order for that if you want.
I mean, you can literally just leave. I mean, they're not. As far as you're aware,
Yes.
they're not going to tax you leaving.
We still gotta get those kids to tell them about the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Will I be able to
you,
get back in?
Kobo.
Well, that would be up to you, like Kobo. But a couple of hours passes. You look for work, but you don't find anything. Shoshana, a bird lands on your shoulder and has a missive for you.
Oh, I softly sing to the bird as I read the missive.
Okay.
So it looks like there's like fey creatures that birds just love. Or Disney princess moment.
You're normal.
There you go.
Also searching. So how many uses does the second Thieves Tools get?
They're just regular thieves' tools. They don't have uses. It's just they weren't something he could sell. He was just keeping in the back room.
Are we all out and about at the moment together?
Mm-hmm.
I show Querin the note.
Okay, I'll whisper Corin the note. W. Corin is Bruce. Oh no, Corin is Vaden.
The first
Okay.
part.
Okay. C-A. You know what, I'm just gonna post it in.
Yeah, post it there. I'll show everyone.
Yeah, and it's just like that's what you show them.
Yeah.
The ... is the actual location.
So, what do you lot think? We go and dig a little deeper. Just think of the reward we'd get for saving an entire city.
I think going to the slums would be a good idea. Would I be able to find where they were keeping the child prostitutes without having to go to the bar?
Yes, as I said, your insight check was enough that you kept track of where you were going. So with a little bit of searching, you could definitely find your way back.
Our business is done here. You believe you want to investigate this slums? Right now, at
Baby
least.
Lou would rather leave. He wants to get away from the possibility of having a kid.
I think this old church is worth checking out, though.
Let's head down.
Worst case scenario, we wait a few days, we get a job on one of those mining carts that comes through town. Or we spend another 2 days before we head on to Leora.
Well, just remember, every day we stay here is also a day that gives us the time to find us. Now that we have the information and we have the proof of their
Brilliant.
involvement, we are
So far, plus 2 days.
very up.
They don't know we have those things yet, though. We still have the element of surprise, which is our biggest advantage.
Yeah, but walking into their stronghold with the evidence sounds pretty stupid.
Except we were taking the evidence with us.
Oh, I
Yes,
haven't
but
got
that
my.
gives them even more advantage to take it from us. If they murder us, remember, we're not exactly the strongest people. Like we're noobs. Okay.
Got the bandanas, though.
Well, what do you mean? We get the bandanas? What do you mean? We have them? Yes, but
Infiltration!
Could infiltrate. Pose as new recruits.
I mean, if they, if this organization is new, maybe. But I mean, if they're any decent, they should be able to recognize their own members. I mean, unless there's a lot of them and they just don't, they just have a bajillion people who just walk around all day and we don't know who each other
And
is.
not to mention, I stand out quite a bit.
It's true.
Okay, this will be interesting.
It's good
And
point.
so do you.
I've got a spell for that, though.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I can say. I don't know.
It's up to you.
Shax, you're the deciding vote.
Yep, Shax, do you want to investigate or do you want to find your way out of the city?
I'm feeling stupid, so let's get tangled up.
Okay. Deciding votes cast. So are you guys heading straight for the slums? Or are you going to wait till nightfall?
I'm going to
I mean,
I'm going to take the before we go back to them. I'm going to go back to Jim and give him the proof and say, "Hey, we're doing something very, very risky. If something happens to us and we do not come back and nothing's and we need you to take this.
Could we put it in the safe and take the key?
Sure, I'll put it back in the safe and give the key back to Jim and
Okay.
say here, and say yes. We need you to use this to take down this corrupt leader.
He nods and says, if you don't come back in, I don't know what his accent was anymore. If you don't come back in 3 days, he will take the safe, head to a guard he knows, and he'll head up to Leora.
Thank you. So I'll go back to the team, and yeah.
Okay, Joey.
yep. And then we'll head to find the children.
So, do you want to do the children first, or do you want to head to the suspicious church?
I think if we deal with the children first, I think they may be easier. Might give us a, more. Like if we die in the other one, at least we'll get the children out.
Oh god.
Wait, is it the same? Are the kids in a church too?
No, they're in an old
Okay.
warehouse.
Oh,
The
that's right.
same
that's right.
district, is it? Do we think?
Yeah, the slums district is quite large. The slums district is if you're heading around the city, it's about 2/3 the width of the city, and then 1/3 of it is like on the upper half is the nobles district, and then coming from the walls, like there's heading up to the noble district, you've got the slums district, and you have to go through the slums unless you're a noble, and then you've got like the merchant and like the commoners. in the next part of the town, and then up above is again the high end section of town. So basically, the slums is like a large section between like the normal peasants area and the outer wall, basically.
I just think if we deal with get the children to safety, that can be like that situation can be summed up and finished, at least for now, and then we can start investigating what we don't know.
Okay.
What precisely is the plan with the children? Might I ask?
Ask them to come with us, and if anyone stops us, kill them.
Yeah, I don't know about us being and I'm pretty sure that would tell everyone what we're doing.
My goodness!
We need to be very stealthy with this, otherwise we will give everything away. And or if we die, we're not going to help anyone.
What if we? Would we be aware that this is well outside the standard laws of Roadmere? Correct. This is just nobles being evil. Yeah.
Okay, so from what Cowboy has told you, as like I assume Cowboy told you some of it. Yeah. Strictly speaking, child prostitution is illegal, but he also did mention that none of them were forced to be there. You think that if they had a better place to go, because you found information showing that the orphanages are not receiving money anymore, and especially with the oncoming of winter, many of them are forced to look for alternative ways to survive. There's also, so it's not like, as I said, it's not nobles being evil, but at the same time, it's not it is against the law in Roadmere, but that's never stopped people. What isn't found out, like as I said, money is power. So if you have enough money, you can do basically whatever you want.
So you find where they're being kept. You can let them know that Jim's got some work for them, and they can go and work for Jim.
Okay, well that's the plan.
Cowboy, can you give me an insight check now?
And then we can bust them when we bust the rest of this
Fuck
shocking town.
off.
Okay.
I've got a +6, man.
You're unsure how the masked man you met. You're unsure how the masked man you met would respond to you telling this.
Okay.
So you just say that you should be careful.
Yeah. I'll just
You're asking the wrong fucking
I'll just
person.
tell them I need a follow-up checkup.
Yeah. Okay. So can you give me an investigation check now that you're leading people there? I assume we're all going there now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're able to find your way back quite easily. You find the rundown warehouse. The guards out the front one of the guards out the front recognizes you and gives you a gruff look over and asks you what you're doing here.
My adventuring party was leaving the town, and I just felt like I needed a follow-up checkup with a couple of the entertainers just before I left.
He gives you a look over and he opens the door a little bit, whispers in. You don't hear him, and then you hear someone running off in the back. Okay. It's a few minutes later. Come back and says, "All right, you can go in. Friends can stay here." Opens the door for you.
That's okay, guys. It'll be fine.
You head inside. The masked man is looking at you from a distance, but he doesn't come over. He doesn't say anything. So you're free. You're free to go about your business. The children gather up, and several of the adults also come over.
I will give everyone a checkup, but Specifically, if when the children come over, I just want to whisper down to them that I have like honest work that are in a mansion that will is available to them if they want to leave.
Okay, first give me a medicine check to give them the look over. Second, give me a sleight of hand check for the whisper. Okay. All the children hear you. All the children appear to be excited, but they know enough to keep themselves just excited enough to look like they're happy to see you. Looking over everyone is actually in quite good health. The fact that you mentioned that some of them could use extra food has obviously gotten through to the masked man, and he has made sure that all of them are well fed. So everything here is in as good a condition as you could expect from an underground prostitution ring.
Prostitution ring is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so
one of the older children actually says that the guards are lax at night, and that many of them will be able to get out at night if they want to leave.
I think I should be able to tell them a place to meet up with either myself or Jim.
You can tell
Jim.
Well, you've already told Jim that you would send him some children, so he if you tell them where to go, they will be able to go there and like find their way quite easily.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I'll check in on these guys later on in the campaign, but
Okay.
I don't think any rash action right now would be wise, because it would probably be harmful for the ones that decide to stay.
Children.
Yeah, and also that would implicate Jim and stuff.
Yeah,
we don't want.
it's just
And
if they're willing and they can escape, and perhaps maybe
Okay.
I can check in with the kids at gyms
okay.
later on.
We've probably got enough rashes for now.
I mean, you're still in the city.
What? What do you mean rations?
Rashes.
Oh god.
Okay. So
All right.
after about an hour, you finish your checkup. You head outside. I'm sure you tell your party that you've told everyone, and it appears no one noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And so you head off to the church. I take it. Is that what we're doing? Or are we waiting?
We got the church scope it out discreetly.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please. Whoever's scoping it out, give me a perception check.
I'll help them. I
I
have
would get someone else to do that.
+3. Well, actually, Kobo is the
I
best
have
at
a
it, right?
+4.
Yeah, I'll help Kobo.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to roll again for the
No,
help?
21's fine. So there's not much at the church from what you can see from the outside. It looks pretty dusty, pretty abandoned. You do notice that there are some fresh wagon tracks going in and out of it. But apart from that, everything looks like an abandoned church.
These people are going in and out. They're probably doing that at night, so maybe daytime's the best time to be sneaking in there. Shall we go in for a peek?
I think so.
So, day or night? You got 3 more. You need one more person to say yes or no.
Let's wait
Yeah.
till night.
Okay, day.
I think day.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay,
They're likely to be active at night.
okay. Heading over to the church then.
Okay.
So you guys arrive in the slums. The church is so the walls out the front. There's no gate. There are some hinges, but it looks like they've been knocked off. The walls surrounding the church are about 25 foot high. The church itself stands a good 30 to 40 feet high. It is a very tall church. It has the symbol of where is it? Primary Pantheon.
Symbol of what, sorry?
Has the symbol of Helios on above its doors, about 30 feet high, that you can clearly see. It is made out of glass. It is a clear glass with the sun with an eye in the center, and the details are made out of a yellow golden glass.
What do I know about Helios?
Do you look at the
He is-
entries?
He is a head god, god of rising sun, healing, and life. He's the most commonly worshipped god. In this case, there is no crying part of the symbol, which is unusual for a Church of Helios, but it does happen.
He rides a chariot of flaming phoenixes, another connection to Ivan.
What did the tears represent?
You give me a religion check.
That's what I was waiting for. Fuck.
You're unsure, and since you are not a priest of Helios, you're unsure what the tear represents.
Sure.
You guys can move about if you
That's
want.
weird.
All right, so we can start moving. Okay.
Yeah.
We stealth. I'm gonna stealth for sure.
I mean, it's broad daylight, so
I guess it's right. Are people around us, or is it, there's
yeah.
really no one around us?
There's some people coming across the road. There's some people. This is the slums. There are plenty of peasants and stuff.
All right. Well, I don't know. Just we're gonna be going through a day, and people seeing us, and sometimes I guess they'll just
So,
think that we're normal people.
Cowboy, looking through the window, you see a bed and part of a desk. Shoshana, looking through, you see some lit candles, and you see that the benches have lined up. You see there's rubble on the floor. You also see down the end there's a pair of candles on top of an altar that are both lit. Baby Lou stepping in. There's tracks down the middle, but everywhere else is caked in dust and rubble. So people are coming to and from this area, but it's obviously not well used.
I'll sit and pretend like I'm praying.
Okay.
If people don't know that I'm a cleric of Sunni, do I still look like a religious person? I guess so, yeah.
Well, you do have the symbol emblazoned on you somewhere.
Yeah, but people are stupid.
I try to investigate the altar, or what the book is.
The book is just religious text relating to Helios, the founding of light, his journey bringing the sun across the sky, standard religious text.
I'm interested in other religious texts.
I mean, there's just the book. It's like the Bible. It's the Bible of Helios.
I want to investigate the altar in general.
Okay.
Can I have other people watching me?
Are they? I don't know. It is a stone altar with a blue rug on it. It is not the color of Helios. Helios is generally gold, so all the blue in here is odd, especially to Kobo.
Okay.
I'm gonna open door and go east.
Sorry, what's odd to me?
The colors.
Blue.
Helios is generally associated with light and sun, so yellows and golds. The fact that there is a lot of blue here doesn't make a lot of sense to you.
Can I sleight of hand the book?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just take it. It's just us in here. It's abandoned.
That's what I was trying to ask. But Chang's like, I don't know. Is there someone watching you?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he meant us.
the only people in here watching you are your party members. I don't know,
Oh
like.
yeah, I'll pick it up then. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna pick up the book, put it in my bag.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Just put
A great showing of disrespect.
just
Yes.
put
Defiling.
Bible of Helios. So in this room there is a bed that hasn't been used in a long time, but it is unmade, and there is an empty desk.
I'll investigate with, I guess, in case.
Okay. The desk has some drawers in it. The drawers are empty of anything you could want.
Okay.
But yeah, there's nothing really in this room.
Door.
You have found a locked door.
Power of locked door. Alright, I will try to use my thief powers to open it.
Okay. Baby's currently praying to whatever god he worships.
Can someone tell the baby to come? It might be trouble, or might need his help.
I'll
What
go
is
out and just silently like motion for baby to come over and like make it look like there's dangerous things.
I'll try to do this in the meantime. We'll
Okay, use your save
Waiting
skills,
for
let's see.
Nice.
Lock clicks open.
do I hear anything on the other side? Let me see perceive, I guess, first.
Yep, perceive. No, it's it is quite eerie and silent for a church.
I
No
say,
little boys being okay. No jokes about that. Sorry.
This is a fantasy land, Joey.
Someone's
Yeah,
fancy.
there appears to be a set of stairs to the basement. Perhaps we should, I mean, I don't want to, but maybe we should investigate while we're here.
I think so. There's nothing up here that we've been able to find, and
We have come this far. We didn't come this far simply to just turn around now, right?
what's just
I'll
adding
stealth
up?
out.
Okay. Quirin disappears into the darkness.
'Cause now that we're in here,
Oh,
people
yeah, we're
should
gonna
see us
stealthily head downstairs.
Yep. So Shana also disappears into the darkness.
more. Just, yeah, we're all rolling well now. What the hell?
Nice, Jax.
Oh, her disadvantage.
Yeah,
terrible
Cowboys,
cover.
not
Not
too
bad,
bad
honestly.
considering just disadvantage.
Can I lock the door, or is it need?
No,
key?
it's got a latch on the back, so you could actually lock it if you want to.
I'll lock it and then head down the stairs.
Okay. Are you stealthing up, or are you just thunking down the stairs like you usually do?
No stealth. I'm good
Okay.
at stealth.
Okay,
damn.
nice.
How are
Oh,
guys
you can have
lucky?
the armor as well.
Medium.
No, I'm hungover.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. You guys head downstairs. As you approach, you hear the flickering of candles. Coming down, you are greeted by a big empty stone room. You see at the back here that some hastily constructed walls have been made. And baby, over here you notice that there is a set of double doors.
I'm
I don't
admiring
know
the
why.
cleavage.
I don't know why. The double doors strike fear in my heart.
I
There's
always like to
something
start with a
ominous.
single door first.
Okay.
Go to it, and then we'll perceive my
Okay.
size here. If I hear anything.
By the way, before you go, baby, you don't hear anything. Quirin, on the other side, you hear laughter of people. And you hear someone slam down some gold coins. And it sounds like there are some people inside playing cards.
Friends team and whisper to them. There appears to be some people at the north door. They are making noise as if they were playing a game of cards or chants of some kind.
There is nothing going on the other side of the other doors.
Okay.
Shall we
I
do the
trust
double
everything
door?
you say for some reason. Anyways, we must. I don't know if we want to continue with this anymore. I don't unless if we proceed any further, they will notice us. Unless you want to like wait outside the door and like bash the head of anyone who comes out or something. But I don't know who.
Could always put on the bandanas. I could.
Like I said, I don't know about deceiving people who are in a small like, exclusive group of.
We could go into the empty room.
Let's try the other room.
Empty one first sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
I will,
Might have uniforms in there. Could be the armory.
I will stay outside the door and not go inside and just like keep watch on the north door and make sure
Okay.
that they're not coming out. Stay here.
I'll open this door
Okay, go ahead.
slowly.
Okay, go ahead. The door glides open without a sound. There is a long tunnel in front of you.
See, I wasn't wrong.
Of course not. I believed you. What do you mean?
I can't see a thing.
I need to show perception.
It's a you turn.
Okay.
There's some kind of sleeping quarters up ahead.
As you guys approach, you can see and hear the sound of flickering lights from inside this room.
Does it look like there's anywhere to sort of sneak into, or is it fairly well illuminated, the whole room?
No, it's you can see that there's a torch at the back here. And apart from that, there's no other illumination.
Is there anybody in there?
Yes, Shoshana and Shax actually see two people over here. They appear to be guarding a set of doors.
I can tell later on. Where's Quarren?
The entrance. I'm back at the
He's
entrance.
watching the door
Let's
Yes.
go shut that door
behind
and
us.
If you need me to come back and tell me, then I'll come. But yeah.
I'll go back and get him.
Alright, I will come.
Okay. Are you going to close the double door on the way through?
Close
Yeah.
them, make it look
Close
like no
this
one came here.
Okay.
Quarren, there's two guards in the next room.
They're both currently unawares. So
Let's let them all put a bandana on Quarren and they'll think he's shifty just like they are.
oh my goodness.
I could like
No, that's a dumb idea.
Ouch.
use silent image to like make something down here so one of them will come and investigate.
I mean, I'm already heavily stealth, like super stealth, so
That's
Do you
exhaustion.
just
I fucked it
want
up.
to fuck them up?
you can get the first shot on them and just beat the shit out of them if you want to. If you assume these other bad, we don't know. I mean, they're bad. We assume they're bad.
Don't know
they
how-
appear to be similar to the people who attacked us before,
Are
right?
they wearing the bandanas?
They are, in fact, wearing red bandanas.
With the three-eyed skull.
Yep.
Yeah, let's fuck them up. They're definitely as evil dudes.
Oh,
Let's do a synchronized arrow fire at them to try and like stealth kill them.
You know, he could just be, like farmers dressed up.
You're so naive, Shax.
Maybe we could try talking to them first.
Okay, Quirin shot. Who else is shooting them?
Shoshana. Then
Okay.
we'll fire in synchronization. I'll fire at one and Corinne will fire at the
man.
other. I think.
Both of you have advantage.
Well,
Quirin,
we would
Yeah.
focus down one, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you. It's up to you. Like,
And I
Yeah.
would definitely shoot as well since I specialize in surprise attack.
okay, you
Yeah.
can shoot as well. So you would also have
Yeah.
advantage.
You guys actually hit. Instead of me. Like,
So
fuck up.
yeah, Quirin, thunk into the door behind.
Oh, roll. Oh my
fuck
god.
my life.
It's only hit.
What did you
Shoshana,
roll?
Shoshana, you hit baby, thunk into the door behind.
What did I get? Because it didn't show up for me.
You got
The
a
animation.
crit.
all the
Got a
time.
crit.
You got a nat 20.
Yeah, 20 and 8. So
I've lost connection to the server.
Okay.
Oh, did I get a 20?
Yeah, you got a nat 20.
Yeah, motherfucker's dead.
actually, Baby
was
Lou and
gonna-
I missed.
Refresh. I'm having connection issues, sorry.
Sure, happens. You know.
So was that? I don't know why.
We're still on Discord?
Yeah.
It's just the Foundry server. There we go. Okay, so I'll roll.
Yeah, roll your critical damage.
I hit critical and it did normal.
No, it
Oh,
rolled
no,
critical.
that's a- and I rolled a fucking 1.
It's okay. Which one were you attacking?
The southern one.
Thunk. It hits him in the head, and he just like drops straight down. And he looks at his friend, and he's like, and he looks up to where the arrows comes from, and it is now combat time.
Did baby hit him too?
No.
No, you're the only person who hit.
We all had damage, and your little person was like, we rolled garbage. I rolled 5 and 5,
Oops.
and Baby Lou rolled a 5 and a 6. So yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
pretty much all I would have had to do was hit to fucking
Yeah.
kill him.
Man, man. Okay.
Sad day.
Does it auto roll now?
No, I don't know why it rolled for you. But you got a 16 unless you want to roll it yourself.
goes first. Fuck.
He looks down and looks at his friend, and he thunks on the door. Thunk, thunk, thunk.
Oh no! If he only needed to kill 2 of them.
And he raises his bow and takes a shot at Quirin.
As far as he also got high initiative too, so we failed like in almost every single poor luck roll essentially.
But it goes flying past your head, Quirin. Combat.
I got this, Kobo.
Combat. Kobo.
Oh no. Not to be funny, guys, but I didn't. The only offensive spell or cantrip I have is Word of Radiance.
I mean, you have a light crossbow.
There you go. You crossbow. We're all crossbow. You have crossbow with us.
I was a life cleric, so you should be just as good in melee.
Yeah, but I can't get there.
Oh, you
There's only one.
There is only one of them. Yep.
Yeah. I do I get disadvantage from heavy armor on like
No.
crossbow stuff?
No.
Oh.
It's normal though because you didn't take the attack first. Nope, that is going to be a mess. So, another bolt joins the bolts in the door.
Mhm.
Baby.
Alrighty.
You should get a composite bow like me then.
15.
It's based on strength, yeah.
Yeah, you guys should.
I can't reach him, so I will shoot my bow again.
I eventually upgrade to a stronger bow. I can give you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta get a
Fine.
fucking composite. There we go.
That's a
Maybe
hit.
that time.
the composite bow, Barty.
Fly damage. Oh, no. That was too much damage. Plus 6, I think. Wait. Plus 6. Minus
Dex is so
7.
useful for so many saves.
Anything else?
No, I'm done.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Not using action
30.
surge on my bow.
Shoshana!
All right. Since it worked so well last time, we might just crossbow that motherfucker again.
That vicious mockery!
That won't kill probably. Oh, yeah, probably not.
I have the potential to kill him with the crossbow, though. Probably not with. Has he taken damage?
Yeah, he just got shot.
Oh yeah, let's vicious mockery him then. Just if he does get another turn,
Okay.
they'll be like, "You're next, motherfucker."
Okay. Roll your.
And where is it? Fuck.
He got a natural 20 on the save.
Fuck him. Only delaying the inevitable.
Okay. You gonna move?
If I could work out how.
Click yourself. Just a single left click and then move.
It's been weird.
Oh, yeah, okay. Curran, you're up. Okay.
The click and drag isn't working.
That's weird. I don't know why. 22 hits. That's not meant to happen.
And every time I click myself, it just targets me.
Sounds like Alt is held down.
That'd be because it's his push to talk.
But it's not. I'm doing it like.
Yeah, Alt is the target button. If you
Yeah, I
hold
know
down.
that, but it's even doing it when I don't have it pressed down.
I don't know why.
I'm gonna refresh again.
Okay, so twang, you drop him, Quirin. Are
Do
you
you
gonna
have
move?
your buttons on the top left set on the target instead of the square?
And go here and try to stealth.
Okay, roll it.
Oh.
Okay, you disappear.
The
5,
refresh
10,
fixed it.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
Get a yeah. Well, that's it. Actually, never mind.
But he did bang on the door.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the door opens. A large man with purple fur stands in front of you. It is a furbolg. He has bright pink hair, and he looks at you guys and says, "Who the bloody hell are you?"
I came to arm wrestle. And I left.
Oh, well.
Can arm wrestle and kick ass and I'm all out of arm wrestling.
Shax!
Okay, well, I don't know what's going around this corner. Ah, he's purple. Just like you said.
He's also exceptionally muscly.
Does he look hostile at all with what he's doing? Does he have a weapon?
No, but his fists look like they are quite tough, and he has a flask at his belt.
I'm just gonna move up here and just sort of like take a defensive stance.
Challenger approach.
So I guess as my action, I'll take the dodge action.
Okay.
Just to wait and see what they do.
Cowboy, you're up.
I dropped my crossbow.
Okay.
So that I can whack with my mace.
Okay, so by the way, now that you guys are here, Shax and Cowboy, in the back you can see a dark hooded human and a kobold with a harp and a pair of sunglasses indoors.
Huh.
A natural 1 is not going to hit. As his reaction though, he is going to punch you. Unarmed strike. Attack. He is going to hit with a 24. So he's going to punch you for 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Baby!
Alright, I will drop my bow.
This fight.
Punch him back.
Okay. You hit. Fly damage. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do, baby?
No, not yet.
Okay. The kobold comes up and says, "Aye, boss! Looks like we got some intruders." Baby, now that you're here, you can see in the back of the room that there is someone tied up on the table here. It looks like he's taken a really big beating. You're not sure what they were doing, but it is quite bloody over there. And so the kobold then says, "All right, you there, furry!" And he strums his harp. And he says, "I've seen bigger pants on a kobold." Can I get a wisdom check from you? Wisdom saving throw?
Which furry is he talking to?
Baby. He can't.
Oh,
Cool,
can't
very
see.
good.
Ah!
Very good.
Show that rock and roll.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's a disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yep.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Very good. So he tries to viciously mock you and fail. He does, however, use as a bonus action his mage hand to slap you behind. Shoshana. He's going to move to
All right.
here. And that's going to be...
Does that one look hostile to us?
Yes, all three of them look very hostile to you.
3 of them? Coinky dink. The spell hits 3.
Dispel?
No.
Bane.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bane. Okay.
Think you'll find you're very lame. You've all just been Bane! I say as I strum my lyre.
Okay. Normal. Ooh, fail. Man, their dice rolls suck. Oh, we have one success. Okay, so the guy at the back succeeds, but the big purple guy and the kobold both fail. So
Let it out. A crime. Shack, she's our woman. If she can't do it, no one can. She gets bardic inspiration.
okay, Quirin, it's your turn. You are currently stealthed.
Yep, I'm going to attack the... Actually, have any damage either of them?
The only person who's been damaged is the monk
And me.
and Cowboy.
I'll attack them just to help try to finish him. I will attack with my good old bow of power.
Who are you attacking? Okay.
And Jason because of stealth.
Okay. So roll your damage.
Oh, that's nice. You'll get sneak attack on that too, does he?
1d10 plus your dex plus your monk level. So roll d10. Okay, so 7 plus
Is that
3.
plus an extra 6?
Yes, because sneak attack crits as well.
Fuck, 24.
So it's 10.
Oh, damn. That's by far the most I've done.
Plus 4. So 10 plus 4. So he reaches out, catches the missile in front of him, but it still penetrates him a little bit. So minus 10.
Fuck, he's a higher level than we
Right.
are.
Rio didn't
It
get that
seems-
much damage until like level 15.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Anything else you want to do?
I'll move back over here and still.
Okay. This guy, he walks forward. Oh, I forgot to go into his thingamabob. Okay, that's fine. And then spells. Okay. And then okay, what's he gonna do? He is going to slash down on Baby with a longsword he draws. So as he draws his longsword, you can see that light is kind of sucked into it. His shield is also very dark. And he slices down. Normal. Okay. A 13. Does that hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So he strikes down upon you. He's a paladin, right? Where's the ability? I'm missing.
That's right, he can just skip it.
No. So he hits you for 7 slashing damage, and then all of a sudden, you feel. All of a sudden, the sword glows as he's slashing down on you. D8. And you take another 5 necrotic damage. So you take 13 damage all up. Oh yeah, 12, sorry. 12 damage as the glowing sword slashes through you. Shax!
Okay. Oh, that looks like Baby Lou's a little bit hurt. I'm going to punch the one here,
Okay.
Mr. Kobo. The one who is not Kobo.
Yeah, that's I figured that. So you have, don't forget you save your inspiration.
Very well.
A 16 unfortunately misses.
Oh, okay. I can use Bardic Inspiration after I know the result, or no?
Strictly speaking, I think you should use it before, but I'll allow you to use it this time.
It's a D6 too.
Yeah, it's D6. Okay, with a 22 you will hit.
Hooray! And I will use a key point to make a flurry of blows.
Okay.
To get 2 extra attacks.
$22.
Put that in there.
Okay, a 22 hits.
And my last attack. Yep. Okay.
That one's gonna miss.
And that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, this guy's gonna he's gonna reach for his flask as his bonus action and take a swig from it.
Fuck him.
2d4 plus 2. Okay.
Remember, he'll have a D4 from any attack rolls he makes too.
Yep. Okay, let me just check what features. Bardic Inspiration. So it's a D6 plus there. Okay, that's fine. So, he's not going to withdraw. He's just going to, from there, he's going to try and punch. He's going to try and punch Shax. He is going to miss. But Jax, you can tell, based on your training with your master, you notice he's getting stronger as he's drinking.
Okay.
Kobo.
Alrighty. Let's do some healing.
Okay.
I'm gonna heal Baby Lou.
Oh, okay. Nice. Baby gets 15 healing as our regular inappropriate toucher touches Baby. Anything else you want to do?
Nice, he's back to full.
I didn't think I have a bonus action.
Okay, Baby.
Alright, I will attack him.
Oh, okay.
I'm pulling out my glaive though.
Okay. An 18 is unfortunately a miss.
Alright, I'm going to use Action Surge.
Okay.
I will try again.
I thought it was
hits.
the 20 on the virtual die. Oh, nice.
Minus 14. Okay, so he goes down. Where are we? He is unconscious, as far as you can tell.
Finish him. Whoever goes next, finish him off.
Can I move there and then to there?
Mm-hmm. We can.
Alright, that's what I'll do.
As he goes down, the kobold looks very quickly at his partner and says, "All right, Drew's got this, master." He steps forth and pulls out a scroll from his harp and reads it. And then all of a sudden, thwomp, all three of them disappear.
Are we out of combat?
Yep, you're out of combat now.
What happened? I just I was looking. I was behind the wall. The
stupid rifle bud of mine just.
And I'm gonna
away.
head over to the guy and see if I can help him.
He is currently unconscious. One of his hands has been cut off, and he is chained down.
Can I, like, medicine check help him?
Mm-hmm.
Kobo, get in here.
You're able to stem the flow of blood coming from his hand.
Okay.
He is still unconscious. Yeah, Quirin found a chest. Like, Quirin immediately went to the chest.
That's right.
So that's a very in character. You just earned luck points.
So is he just unconscious? He's stabilized.
He's
We can click it.
yes. I added a sheet to it.
Nothing happens though.
Double click on it.
Oh,
Yes, that's what you find.
Oh, that's cool. Cell key and 2 potions lesser healing.
And some
You
gold.
know,
So
I can split gold 5 ways. Nice. That's
I
really
just
cool.
lost my vision.
For now, I'll just put that all in my
yeah.
inventory.
where are
For
you?
now, but
I don't know. I clicked the chest and it disappeared.
Yeah,
Just
it selects it.
selected.
You saw deselect, so draw a square somewhere on the map.
Yeah, thank you.
Perhaps we could use one of those potions on this poor soul.
I mean,
So
We need to unlock his chains too.
do we have a healer for this?
I mean, you have a healer, or you have 2 extra potions you just found. It's up to you.
Just give him potion.
Do you want me to use a spell slot for it?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'd rather use potion at this point, but I don't know. It's up to you guys.
We're not out of here yet. Maybe you should hold on to your magics.
Okay, so you roll a potion if you want to use it, or you can just leave him. I mean, it's up to you.
This could be Lud, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quirin has looted everything.
Putting in party gold, you know?
Yeah, I figured that. I'm just saying.
He's the treasurer. So are we giving him a potion or are we going to give him a spell?
Sure, to get the potion.
Well, somebody roll a potion of lesser healing then.
Ruin's the one who's got them all.
I'll do it. Alright.
Okay. So 3 hit points. Okay, so, as you give him the potion, he wakes up from his slumber and says, oh, I will not give you information. And he opens your eyes. Huh? Wait. Where are the others?
Are you Lud?
We
Yes?
got rid of them.
My name is Lord Nelson, former lord of this city. Who might I be talking to?
We went and talked to Jim.
Jim? He's all right?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
We got drunk with him.
He doesn't. He's still a bit. He's still woozy, and so it doesn't really register. That's what you said.
We came investigating these guys, and we found you.
I see.
But you're actually somebody we were trying to kind of sort of find as well.
Well, that's good to know.
What's your involvement with these people?
He was kid.
It's kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
What's your involvement with these people? He says
No,
they.
it looks like he's kidnapped. Sure. Was he
Kieran,
the
we
bad
need
guy
to
though?
get his keys or his chains opened.
Alright, I'll give him the cell key. I'll
So,
throw a cell key to baby.
So, the bad guy is the current lord of the city, Ivan Phoenix. This guy was the previous lord, who, as far as you can tell, is not a bad guy. You've not found any information
But
of.
didn't Jim?
He
Didn't
had
Jim say
evidence.
just take all his shit?
No, he said don't
No.
take all his shit.
Oh, now okay. I
He
thought
had
you
the
were saying that
evidence
Jim
on
was
the other
like,
day.
yeah, he's dead, but you know what? You take all of his shit, I'm here.
No,
That's why
Jim.
he was like-
Jim
No,
specifically.
when he was taken.
Yeah, Jim specifically said he was taken, and if you could find him, he could help take down the current lord.
Okay.
Because he was collecting all the information on them as well, like we have.
Okay.
In answer to your question, he says, they kidnapped me. I found information about them. Ivan, trading with
Slaves.
slavers.
We know. We found your information.
It's still safe.
He nods and he's like, good. We can't let this city fall into Ivan's hands. And then he says, there are more trapped in the room over there. And he points on the other side.
Does the key open his bonds?
No, it does not.
Okay.
I'm sure why my screen went black. Like I have black, all black, but it's like
Make
a
a box on the screen.
box.
Yeah, left click and drag a box away from the
Okay, there you go. Yeah, fixed. Yeah.
It takes, for some reason, when you have permission to view another token and it doesn't have vision, it's a chest that shouldn't have vision, it does weird shit.
Kieran, you gotta unlock him with your tools.
Well, cool. No, I give him a cell key. Oh, a cell key is not enough. Okay, fine. Over and
No, the
these
cell
tools.
keys are for the cell.
Yeah, you're right.
Funny
Yeah,
enough, the
we
cell
can do
keys
like
are for the
cell
cell. You figure that the person with the shackle keys probably teleported out of here.
Got it. I will use my thieves tools and
Okay.
attempt to.
So one of his arms just slides right out because it's no longer got anything to hold on to. You're able to unlock
Yes,
the
sir.
other three quite easily.
Is his hand still here?
Roll a perception check. Okay, so over here you see a bunch of tools. Next to the tools, you actually see partially shriveled hand.
Shriveled. Doesn't sound like we could put it back on.
No, it looks like it's been off for a while.
Perhaps we can get him to one of the churches where one of their clerics can tend to his limbs.
He does thank you for freeing him, however. And he unsteadily gets off the table, like he puts his feet down. Trying to stand up, he like stumbles back. He's clearly not strong enough to walk by himself, so
I'll
just
help him.
he thanks you, as you do. So what are you guys gonna do? He said that there's several more people in cells in the other room.
How many guards do you suspect they have down here?
He said last time, he's unsure. He's been in this chamber days, but because he's been here months, he said that there are usually 4 guards on patrol or watching in the cell room, and you've basically explored the rest of the map. So
We could take 4 guards. What if we
Easy.
take him out a bit closer and then clear out the guard room?
We can sit him like behind the double doors.
Yeah.
okay, yep, we'll do that. So he'll sit behind the double doors while you guys go do what you want to do. Assume you guys are heading towards the.
Yeah.
And then we could. Oh, it's wood though. We could just burn honor this prisoner in there
We could just burn it down.
and lock the
Damn
door.
the commoners.
Just damn them. We don't need to live. All right, I'm gonna stealth and try to go for another
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Okay. Are you going to try and open the door stealthily?
Yes.
Well, whoever's opened the door can roll me a sleight of hand check.
Well, you tossed me the keys.
Well, this door is, as far as you can tell, open.
This isn't this. I think this is like the guard room.
Oh,
you have sleight of hand proficiency.
Okay.
We're still letting the prisoners play
Jack's
cards and
cowboy.
drink. They're actually just having a good time.
I could do it, Queer.
Okay, you do. Then you open it.
I feel like I'm on a roll.
I'm
Okay.
gonna knock an arrow if I see a guard inside. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man,
shoot.
ready action
Okay.
too.
Shoshana's going to do the same. Back here.
You're able to open the door very stealthily. So the door swings open without any
Nothing.
resistance.
Thing.
And get ready to shoot. I heard people, so I know they're gonna be there.
Perception.
Any door.
All right, so I guess we all attack, or
Well, I can't see because I moved up to get through the doorway and we pull.
Yeah.
Well, Curran has stepped around the corner and he rolled a. Sorry.
I rolled
What'd you roll?
21.
21. Okay.
Shacks.
Okay, so they haven't spotted you yet,
Okay.
Curran.
Can I step forward before?
Sure.
No, you can't. I will shoot first. Ask questions
There
later.
we go. I got a 6 on my stealth check.
So Shaq's moving to there. These two over here notice you immediately.
Oh,
Curran, you have rolled fast enough to get your attack off. Which one do you want to hit?
Would I have been
Have
able to
to roll
roll my
fast
attack or no?
Shaq's room.
Sure. You can roll your attack too. Like as they're like getting up, you attack.
I'll attack the. Because the.
Yes!
farthest one.
Again!
So which one are you taking,
Oh,
Curran?
damn. I guess this one.
Okay.
They're all
I'll
the
get-
same, right? In terms of armament and all of that.
I'm going to go for the one that's sitting opposite the table from the one current.
Okay.
I'm trying to shoot the farthest one. Because
I'm pretty sure no matter what happens, he's dead. I'm even.
Oh, max damage!
Minus
Are you serious?
19.
Wow. 19 damage. Holy shit.
That's 2 down.
What?
And now we're in combat with only 2 guards.
All teams should just be like
motherfuckers!
ambush everything. That's all we should do. It's just our whole strategy should just rely on range attacks and just ambush everyone. Like,
Well, I need to get a composite bow before I can get in on that action.
well, what's that? Let's go find a composite bow and make her and befriend him.
Also-
Because we're all gonna need it apparently.
Also need to find some armor that does not give you disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that'd be
I'm
helpful.
broke.
I'm just saying.
Maybe after
Hey, we're all
rescuing
broke.
Ludwig, he's wealthy.
We
he
have-
can just buy us what we need as a gift.
Yeah, we have party gold as well.
We're
Sugar Daddy Love.
missing someone from the turn order.
Oh, me.
Shoshana.
Bam.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cowboy, you're up. Kobo.
The man without the
Alrighty.
X modifier is first again.
Don't even give him a good word because
Yeah.
there's more than one.
I love that the fact that 5, 10, 15, 25. You can get to there.
I want to
I'm
drop
sorry.
down a position in the turn order.
Okay, how far do you want to drop down?
Just one. I want to let the enemy go before me.
Okay. So you want to be 11, but you want... Okay.
Before Shax.
Point 1.
Am I able to defend myself with my shield in my position?
It's called the dodge
or
action.
something?
Yep, you can take the dodge action.
Yeah. What does that do?
It gives disadvantage on attacks against you.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And is that it?
Yep.
Okay, so this bandit seeing you is going to get up. He's going to pull out his scimitar. He's going to pick up his shield and attack with disadvantage.
Fuck, I can't see him.
And gonna miss quite significant by quite a bit.
Yay.
Baby.
25, 30.
Yep, you can get to there.
And I will attack with my glaive then.
Okay.
Dropping my bow.
Oh, yep, he has to hit.
Yeah.
And he is very much dead. Minus 14.
And I'm done.
Shucks! 10, 15, 20, 25.
Easy.
Okay.
And I run up and punch him back down into his chair.
Okay. I mean, he hasn't even gotten up yet. He hasn't even pulled his weapon.
Maybe I punch a chair.
You try to punch him, and you hit the table instead. And as a reaction, he's gonna punch you in the face, or at least attempt to. He rolls a 15. So you take 1 damage as he punches you.
That's what he gets for being a non-monk.
Bonus action.
Yeah, I'll use my bonus action to make 1 attack.
Okay.
Nice.
You hit. Quirin.
And attack.
This poor guy's not going to get his turn, is he?
You're the only one left.
He is.
Shit.
Forgot to do what's it called. Whatever, it's fine.
It doesn't
Nah.
matter. You still get sneak attack because there's someone in range, but you don't need it.
Yeah, he's it. Alright.
He's dead, yeah.
Nice knowing you. There are a million doors. Holy shit. Okay, that's a lot of cells.
Yeah,
I better
I'll just start
hurry.
walking around unlocking them.
Okay. Okay,
Are they flashing?
they're all unlocked now. Inside you find several children, several adults, all between the ages of 12 and 22. They have collars on. It looks like they were being prepared to be sold.
We're here to save you. Come out.
I'd like to investigate the place where they were playing the cards.
On the desk, there's a set of playing cards, and there's 5 gold pieces.
I'll grab that. Grab both of them, actually. I want the cards, too.
Okay, so you got a
just
set of
running around.
playing
opening the
cards.
door. But
I'll
you're
go back.
free.
Get Lord Blood.
Jump up on the table after Quarren's finished looking at it.
Lord Blood, we found 7 people?
14.
14 people.
There was 1 in each room except for this one.
You're all free.
And I'll help him over to the cell room.
Okay. He thanks you all and tells everybody that they should head back home for now. And when he has dealt with Ivan, he will call them to get testimony against him, because
Do they have homes? Are they just regular villagers?
you are unsure. But they appear to appreciate the sentiment, as like some of them are quite well dressed, so you assume that so.
I asked Lord Blood where he wants to go.
He says back to his mansion for now. He needs to see Jim, who will be able to help him.
Should we mention the children?
That's up to you. That's up to you.
We'll take him,
Although,
right? We're gonna escort him.
We'll escort him. You can tell him on the way, Kobo break the news. Got a couple of extra orphans. It's child labor.
Okay. So that's the end of that. Didn't find much, but you were able to break a slaving ring. So as you approach the mansion, you tell him the news. He's actually very grateful the fact that you were able to break the find and free the children. He says he will look after them no matter what happens. He is able to tell you that no matter what happens, that Ivan will definitely get what's coming to him. He does ask you guys to stick around for a couple of days in order to make sure that news can reach Leora. Or he offers you he says that he says he can go into hiding and get you guys to deliver the news to Leora yourselves.
well, that suits our plan.
He wants us to escort him to Leora as the other option, is that right?
Yeah, so you either escort him to Leora or he can go into hiding. And he knows someone who can make it look like you're just escorting people. Which is less dangerous, obviously, because you will not be escorting someone who's meant to be missing out of the city.
Well, as a professional escort, Kobo, what's your opinion?
Oh my goodness.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Sounds good.
Are you gonna be safe if we leave you in town?
He smiles and says, yes. I'm sure. Did you mention that you went through his mansion?
Yeah.
Okay. He says if even you didn't find it, I'm sure that they will not be able to find it. And he mentioned that he has basically what's equivalent to a panic room. That is very difficult to find.
Okay. We can take your message for you then.
Okay, so he will write a document that will get you in touch with the head of Leora, and not only that, he will give you all the information that you require. He also gives you another document and tells you to head to a mansion in the Upper District, close by. That he says these people require escort onto Pache, but they'd be quite willing to help him and stop in Leora as you're going on.
Well, everything's coming up. What is that group name?
Don't have one yet.
If you say that out loud, actually, he does say, maybe you should consider naming yourselves. After all, you'll be welcomed with open arms here in the city. Clowns on wheels.
Too. No. I don't know.
That's something to think of for next time. Because it's now the end of the session.
All right, cool. Like I said, worked out.
Yeah.
Thought we were gonna get doing bit. All right, worked out.
Yeah.
So we'll get a ton of stuff from them. We'll see, I guess.
I was afraid that you were actually just going to move on.
Yeah, because we're literally the lead. We're basically dealing with the leader of a city. And we're noobs. We're level 2, and we're taking care of their guards. We're finding all sorts of things. And this guy's got he's disappeared people. There's all sorts of things that have happened. It's pretty.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you, right? I'm just saying, it would have been funny if you just moved on.
Sometimes it's not
Come
level.
back at some point, but by that point, he probably would have level part would have been dead.
See, Baby's not afraid of the fight. He just wants to get the fuck out of here.
No, you're afraid of Baby. That's what you're
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Saved. Okay, thank you for coming out. That is the end for tonight. Congratulations to our team. They have saved Lud Nelson.
So Baby Lou 2-2.
Yeah. That comes out, yeah.
They have saved Lud Nelson and are going to meet someone new next week and head towards Leora. Thank you for coming out. That is the end for tonight.